Tick-tock, hit countdown, bro. 5 minutes left, yeah, we bound to take control. The speaker's corner, get ready to talk. Step up to the mic, time to walk the walk. Got a theory of truth, a claim of complaints. Wanna bring that fire, or you just gonna faint? Love Jaren a lot, or hate him with passion. Either way, get ready, time for some action. Waiting for Jaren, it's almost time. Mic gets hot, let the people shine. 4 more minutes till the show goes live. It's Speaker's Corner, and it's 2025.
No filters, ain't no script, say what you want, don't bite your lip. Truth gets messy, lies get wrecked, but only the real ones get respect. Countdown ticking, energies rising, voices loud, no compromising. One mic, one chance, spin it raw, get it off your chest, win or fall. You have only 4 minutes, so don't delay. Grab the mic and get your say. Say what you want, you got 4 minutes, dog, just hoping it's not a vagina monologue.
For Jaren, it's almost time. Mic gets hot, let the people shine. 3 more minutes till the show goes live. It's Speaker's Corner, and it's 2025. Yo, ready or what? This the moment, this the test. What you bringing, give it your best. Truth, a joke, a wild hot take. Clock runs out, no time for fakes. Love them or hate them, the floor is yours. Kick down the gates, we open the doors. Jaren's almost here, it's time to go. Mike's live now, welcome to the show. Share the show now, cause it's about that time. Support your boy, cause he need that dime. Forget the past, ignore the former. We about right now, and it's Speaker's Corner. Waiting for Jaren, it's almost time. Mike gets hot, let the people shine. 4 more minutes till the show goes live. Speaker's Corner, and it's 2025.
Ain't no filters, ain't no script, say what you want, don't bite your lip. Truth gets messy, lies get wrecked, but only the real ones get respect. Countdown ticking, energies rising, voices loud, no compromising. One mic, one chance, spit it raw, get it off your chest, win or fall. You have only 4 minutes, so don't delay. Grab the mic and get your say. Say what you want, you got 4 minutes, dog, just hoping it's not a vagina monologue.
For Jaren, it's almost time. Mic gets hot, let the people shine. 3 more minutes till the show goes live. It's Speaker's Corner, and it's 2025. 4 minutes left, can you feel the vibe? 3 minutes now, and it's coming alive. 2 minutes in, damn it's heating up. 1 minute left, yo, ready or what?
It's almost time for Speaker's Corner to fly. It's Thursday night, y'all, you chance to grab the mic. You got 4 minutes to say your piece, but for the next 4 minutes, dig this beat. Welcome to the show, where we keepin' shit real tight. Jaren is your host, always honest and sometimes right. No holds barred, breaking the mold, bold soldier. Questions unfold, answers colder than that shoulder. Stand back, he's a sight to behold. He's like you but tenfold. Asking questions that cut, giving answers that bite. Giving people a voice, he puts you in the spotlight. Unplugged, unfiltered, what you get's never planned. Truth in his head, wisdom so grand. Chasing mysteries, just proving history's no scam. Peek behind the curtain, he's the man with the plan. Jaren's the best, no second guessing and no contest. Clever and bold, he on that truth to conquest. He's from the best coast, yeah, that's the West. Giving voice to the people, and yeah, he blessed. Break the chains of stranger lanes, thoughts reign. Mind unbuckled, never shackled with the mundane. Paper of the way, never led by the pain. Jaren stays real, never plays the fame game. He brings 10 inches of rain, yeah, you'll get wet. If you wanna challenge him, then prepare yourself to lose this bet. Finding truth, making secrets unfold. With new information, need to toss out the old. Unmasking minds, clearing skies for new eyes. Guts and grit, no disguise, breaking ties. With conventional wisdom to be revised. Seek and conquer, always real and wise. Let's start the show, Jaren got the reins. Unless you want that road race, stay in your lane. Jeranism stands tall, unafraid of the fight. Speaker's Corner is here, yeah, it's Thursday night. It's Speaker's Corner, yeah, it's your time. No script, no filter, just speak your mind. It's Speaker's Corner, speak truth, fuck lies. Stand up tall, take the world by surprise. It's Speaker's Corner, yeah, it's your time. Say it loud, make the haters cry. It's Speaker's Corner, who's next in line? The crowd's all waiting, so don't be shy. It's Speaker's Corner 25 and we're live.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Welcome. This is the Jeranism show. Yes, sir.
This is the Speaker's Corner, where we speak truth, seek truth. Speaker's Corner, yeah, they see through, we see you. Speaker's Corner, where the people get to talk, where real ideas and thoughts spark. This is all on the Speaker's Corner. 3 minutes hit the spotlight. Speaker's Corner, where 3 minutes gets your mind right. Speaker's Corner, where the people get to talk, where real ideas and thoughts spark. This is all on the Speaker's Corner.
Are you guys ready? I know I am. It's time for May. May the 1st be with you or something. Is that how it goes? Something like that. Welcome to the show, everybody. It is time for another Speaker's Frickin' Corner. They come up very often, which is kind of strange. It is May 1st. It is Thursday, the first Thursday of the month. That's when we do Speaker's Corner, your chance, where the people get to talk. You get to step on up and say what you want. So let's come on. I'm going to start you off with something funny, though. Gotta watch something funny. I just happened to tune in today to the... Can we turn off the sound? Thank you. Thank you, Enrique. Way to go. I just happened to tune in today. Hello, everybody in the chat, by the way. I was going to say over there to everybody. I can't really see. Ask by Jaren is the first channel to revert back to the globe. Yeah, ask that question because I'm the only person honest. Way to go, genius. And just because you guys can't see it, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're not going to worry about it very much longer. That's for sure. So you guys know I used to enjoy watching a NASA spacewalk. Why? Who knows? That I can't help you with. But I did used to enjoy it. So I saw that they were doing a spacewalk today, and I started watching, and right where I picked up watching, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. How's the sound, by the way? Is it a 5x? Dr. Bass Ackwards in the house, who likes to talk a lot of shit about me when I'm not around. Somebody told me that he said that I like that I'm into vaccines now or something. So, you know, the guy is on top of things. Let me see here if we can show you this. This is hilarious. Oh, do I not have a YouTube link there? Oh, that's not going to work. Which one is that picking up? Hold on one second. We're having another issue here. I'm going to put it over here instead. This is going to be display number 1. Yes, that's it. Okay. Move this over. All right. What is this thing doing? Oh, there it is. All right. So here we go. There's my NASA. And I'll move this back over. All right. So we're just going to watch a little bit of a spacewalk. And, you know, I also enjoy a little bit of a Rob Nevias, who is the play-by-play announcer for NASA's spacewalks. So I kind of did my own version of what he should have been saying during this portion of the brilliant spacewalk. Let's pick it up from where I have it, and we're going to listen to Rob Nevias, is our hilarious NASA commentator. Let's see if we got it.
Yeah, it's clear.
There we go.
Copy. Thanks, Ann. And then we're looking for a pitch of...
Hello and welcome to Mission Control Houston. And we are looking now live at the delicate dance of the spacefaring humans who some call astronauts and I call heroes as they try and repair some of the broken parts of the most technologically advanced piece of hardware to ever be built. Right now, the International Space Station, the pride of every human with room to spare, is here flying some 17,188 and 1/2 miles per hour, 255.33 statute miles above the Mojave Desert. So I'll be your voice for today's spacewalk, and currently we are looking at the gazelle-like movements of our science superstar Karen Nyberg, who continues to do absolutely great science. And you see here she is currently navigating effectively with poise and amazing stature, not to mention situational awareness, and with the finesse of a seasoned veteran, she is unwinding herself from the overwhelming amount of cords and wires and more cords and wires, and she is just handling this with such ease. And her training is really showing here as she just nails it and looks so natural and inspiring. Every move is calculated and done with such scientific purpose. These are truly America's heroes, so much so that you almost have to stand back and just watch with awe and ponder with wonderment and appreciation, as no one else on earth could do the job she currently is doing. Look how easily she moves to and fro, and this all is because of her deep training. It is simply impressive, and as she continues to untangle herself with poise and confidence that only a true space professional could even begin to try. Yes, we are in Houston as the ISS, currently traveling along at 17,255.33 miles per hour, and right now is sitting at 252.89 statute miles above the Earth, currently flying above China. As Karen continues to navigate this most difficult of tasks to untangle herself from the what looks like an uncountable number of cords and wires, maybe 3, maybe 2, but look at her go as she does not wasting any time doing flips or anything unproductive, as there is no wasted movement here, all with purpose. Let's take it back to Jaron, as this is getting goddamn fucking ridiculous, and I am about to quit. This is some fucking joke.
Thanks, Rob. No, Rob, it's not a joke. It's a real spacewalk. But if you watch this person, they've been doing this for 10 minutes and they have done nothing. This person is just spinning in circles, trying to untangle themselves from cords that they're not really even tangled up in. They're just upside down, doing nothing for about 10 minutes now. You can keep watching. You can go back and watch again, and you'll see that they've done absolutely nothing but spin around and try and put their feet up here and then try to... Look at now, just doing backflips. It's all great. It's good stuff. It's just good expenditure of money. Yep, gotta get my feet on there. I gotta get my feet. Oh, I couldn't get it. Get my feet up now. Feet. Somebody help her. Look at what she's doing. She's just floating around. All right, anyway. I thought that was hilarious. She's doing absolutely nothing. Did she finally get on the platform? Oh, almost had it. She's going to get it. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's get it started. Let's do the damn thing. It is going to be a very strict clock today. If you'd be so kind as to be prepared for that, I would appreciate it much. If you want the links to get on the show, they are on the top of the screen. tinyurl.com/cornerism. Sorry. tinyurl.com/cornerism will get you in the door and actually be able to be on the show. If you want to be anonymous because you're a little puss, you can go to tinyurl.com/maycorner, and that will work for you. All right. Let me make sure that these guys are ready to go, which I'm not exactly positive of. Let's see here. We've got to get this off the screen, and we should be able to go. Speakers, corner. Nope. Nope. We will figure it out here in a second. We have the wrong thing up there. That's going to work, and then we need the StreamYard only. All right, and StreamYard only is this one. Okay. My computer likes to switch displays on me very often. Let's go this one and go display one. All right, let's get the first person on here. Let me make sure we turn off this. Okay, oops. Good. Now we are squared away there. All right, up first we've got, I'm Rick. I believe you'll be with me 1 second. I'm just getting this screen up so we can make sure you look good on here. Let's bring him on. And I'm Rick.
I never look good. I hope my mic is okay because I'm just yelling at my computer.
You actually look good. Don't worry about it. Okay, let me lower this down there.
I wanted to say one thing on
You
Flat
may.
Earth. Just ask you a question. Then I want to ask you a couple of things about moon landing. Have you ever seen Soundly's videos on Lake Pontchartrain?
I have.
How did you?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How did you explain that?
I think it has to do with a telephoto lens. I mean, it's just kind of, it's like foreshortening, I guess you would call it. I don't know if that's the exact word. But if you get behind something long like that, you can use a telephoto lens, and it brings everything together and makes it look very compact, and that's why it looks like the way it does. That's my opinion. What did you think?
Right, it's compact. I've heard it several times that it's not compact. They use some other word, but it still has curve, though. So I was just wondering why that made a difference.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure that that's actually showing the curve of the Earth, but it could be. I'm not really sure. I never put any stock into it before, and I haven't looked at it since I've been back, so I'd have to look at it again.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to say was I really appreciate that the way you have been explaining your conversion and everything, and I enjoyed last night how you were saying how a flat earther would look at the evidence, and I really have been appreciating. I had a debate channel in 2016 and 2017 and got away from it, got bored with it, but came back on the final experiment and just mostly watch you, and I really enjoy the way you are explaining yourself and explaining the way your mind works. It's been very interesting to me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's just honesty. So, no matter what you hear out there with everybody saying, sell out or that I got bought, I've talked to no officials. I've been offered nothing. I've been given nothing. It's just conviction, which I know a lot of people don't have. So,
the real question I want to ask is on the man-to-moon landings. What are your best arguments against it happening? Because from what I've watched, one of them is that the rover doesn't look real, and they've scrubbed the internet of that, and the other one was that they haven't gone back. Is that your two strongest points?
No, I don't think those are my strongest. So tomorrow, if you guys don't know, I got the time wrong. I think I said 10:30 a.m. It's at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow, and that will be Dave McKeegan and I, and we are going to be talking about the best moon landing hoax evidence we have, and presenting it to him, and he's going to try and refute it. So, but there's some other stuff that we have in there. But what is my best? I don't know. There's some size of the sun stuff that we're doing. Some photographer thinks that the size of the sun is wrong, so we're going to put that to him. Definitely the rover footage. I think I've got evidence that pretty much shows that it was done in either miniature form or some sort of a mock scene, basically. So I can show that, and then I'm going to show that there's no parallax on the sides of the cart, which kind of tells me that we're looking at a backdrop. The distances and sizes of mountains that are there seem to be fabricated. There's a couple other things we've got, but I've been surprised by the lack of evidence of it being a hoax, because I kept asking people, and I keep getting messages from people, and they just say, "Oh, we all know it's a hoax." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I need evidence. I'm presenting Dave with evidence." And they're like, "Yeah, well, it's just so obvious we didn't go." I'm like, okay, you're not being helpful. And I've got like 10 people who have done that. They've just reached out to tell me it's a hoax, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm looking for evidence. But people have woefully lacked that. So if you're out there and you're somebody saying, "What? How could you say that?" Then get on Telegram and send me that evidence, because we aren't seeing very much of it. Oh, go ahead. You got about a half minute left.
Okay, I only had two quick things on the moon landing.
Okay.
Isn't it more likely that it's not a backdrop on the rover? You said you haven't been driving for several minutes. This backdrop would have to be the size of Texas. The other thing is, going back, they did go 6 times.
Right.
So it's not like, if you were going to fake it, would you fake it 6 times?
Well, I don't think you would.
I want to say.
Sure.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I don't think you'd fake it once, because then you'd have questions about that. And they were really trying to get, the country's buy-in so that they could get more money. That's kind of was their goal. So yeah, I do think 6 times is maybe a little bit excessive. Maybe they could have done it in 3. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know about the backdrop being the size of Texas. The backdrop only needs to be, let's say that the ground that they're working with is a football field. You could just have a backdrop that kind of covers the football field, the sides of it, and you have everything happen inside the football field. And then as far as, you asked one other question I was going to say. You said, oh yeah, about going back. Oh yeah, so you said that they so they went for, let's say that it was 250,000 miles, right? And now they can go 250 miles. So that is a ratio of 1 to 1,000. So that's the equivalent of us going across the Atlantic Ocean, 2,500 miles, and we do it 6 times, let's say, in a couple years. And then over the next 55 years, nobody goes further than 2.5 miles into the ocean. That's the equivalent. So does that make any sense? No. Everybody.
Well, they had a bunch of unmanned that. In fact, there's a couple on the moon right now. So I mean,
Gotcha.
They are going. They're just not going manned.
Right. Okay. Yep. We'll have to see. I mean, they have to, I think that it's an easy question to say go back. So they should just go back. All right. I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Yep. We've got Clickety Clack Shoes in the house. What's up, Clickety Clack?
Jerry, what's up, Jerry?
How are you?
Hey, good, man.
Good. Starting you at your 4 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just, watching some of your videos in Antarctica, it was kind of like, it's like eerie. I was kind of wanting you to explain like how it felt actually being there. It's almost like a prison of sorts or something. Like it's very eerie to watch, almost scary for me to watch.
It was kind of a little bit, but I mean, you're in that group, but there was thoughts of like, I just started thinking about like that place in the winter must be insane. Just pitch black all the time for months and months. That seems freaky. But I mean, during the day, it's just awesome. I mean, having the sun in the sky for 4 days was pretty impressive. Nothing like I've ever seen in my life. So it was surreal, I guess you would say. I don't think it felt like a prison because it seemed so wide open. So it almost seemed like, I don't know, like nothing I've ever been a part of. So just empty and then, beautiful at the same time, pristine. You didn't want to mess up anything because it just looked so nice. So I don't know. I guess that's the way I would describe it. I don't think I was scared much as it was just shocked that I was even there, to be honest with you.
Nice. Yeah. You do talk about the observations and stuff, but I've never kind of heard you talk about that. So that's good to hear. But, I sent you a message on Skype a while back.
Oh, sorry. I haven't been looking lately. Aren't they getting rid of Skype?
No. You responded.
Oh, okay.
You unbanned me from the chat. That's pretty much what I was saying. But,
okay.
But also I was kind of saying how I felt when I was in between kind of the mainstreamers and the conspirators, like,
oh, it's the worst position to be in, and it's certainly not a good place to be in as a YouTuber.
Yeah, but I mean, do you feel like you're actually kind of more of a true skeptic than you were before?
Yeah, I think that I would not just default into the conspiracy side as much, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, because I mean, I used to actually, and what's funny is it was actually just before the flat Earth. Because I was around, I watched you dropping phones in water, and I watched, since the beginning. Actually, A4 Adam Dwyer, this crazy Australian guy, was talking about it, I think in like 2014, 2013, when we were all talking about Sandy books and stuff like that. So I had heard about it before, but then, there was kind of a resurgence with Dubé and Sargent and stuff like that. But, that was when I truly I feel like you're kind of in my position where I was back then, because it only took me, I don't know what the difference is, maybe you can expand on it, but like it only took me about 2 weeks looking into like star rotations and different things to like, okay, this is bullshit. But like, why? I mean, it's crazy because I mean, I go back and kind of think of all the conversations we had throughout the years, and like, I was telling you about basically all of what you say now. You sound like a mini Timmy Osmond. So it's kind of crazy to hear like the star rotations, the northern and southern celestial points. And I mean, the fact that the sun rises and sets and doesn't change in angular size. And
I guess my only thing would be, I wanted to be sure, right? Because if you're saying they're lying to us, and then you have to kind of consider that they would be able to fabricate some things, hide some stuff. So I just wanted to be really sure, and there never seemed to be that thing that was 100%. And then when I heard about the final experiment coming around, it was like, okay, well, that's something that would be 100%. That cannot exist on a flat Earth. So I knew that was the ultimate test. That's why I respect Duffy for coming up with it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny to everyone's backtracking as far as like they used to
Of course.
say, oh, well, if we went down to the south and blah, blah, blah. And I've heard you say a couple times recently that like the whole argument that they have about the sky won't tell you what the ground is.
Right.
I've been hearing that for like 10 years. So that's really nothing new.
Well, no, let's be honest though. You were hearing it because when people would say that the sun's a sphere and the moon's a sphere and therefore we're a sphere. So I would even say, and I'd still say it, that's not that doesn't follow. That's not evidence. You can't use the shape of things in the sky to say that we're that same shape. So people were using it for that reason. Then Dave Weiss just used it for this new reason, which is not acceptable in evidence gathering.
Gotcha. Truthfully, maybe you didn't hear it, but I definitely heard it when I was talking about star trails for years and
really?
years.
Okay.
I definitely hear
yeah, maybe people were saying it.
maybe.
I wasn't saying it unless I was talking about the shape of the items in the sky.
Gotcha. Well, I'll respect your 4 minutes.
Thank you.
Appreciate talking to you.
You too. I'll reach out on Skype because I know they're moving. So get on Telegram. We're all over there.
Cool. Will
right.
do.
Later.
Keep what you're doing, brother.
All
Later.
Right. We got Patrick. You are up.
Yes, I cannot hear you, but so I will try to speak even though I cannot hear. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, you don't hear me?
No, I hear very, very low volume.
Okay.
You, so,
well, I'll just start your clock.
Yeah.
You got 4 minutes. Go ahead.
So whatever, I will just speak in 4 minutes, and I cannot hear you, so I'll speak in 4 minutes.
Okay.
About if you read the Bible or not, and we talked about the Pentecostal day, things like that. I want to explain that I am a theologian practicing for 17 years, and it's very easy for me to hear someone didn't read the Bible, and we talked about you talked about Jesus being the metaphor son. I'm just gonna say that it's the biggest hit piece in New Age, because all who says that has not read the Bible, because the simple fact that you can read Matthew 1.
Well, you got the Pentecost wrong last week. You weren't even listening to last time because you asked me if I knew what the Pentecost was, and I said exactly what it was.
Also, what Jesus say, who he is, and of course the history, both in the church history, the 300 years after Jesus' death and resurrection.
What? If you guys have a delay or you're not hearing me, it's because you're listening to the YouTube channel and not the StreamYard. You need to turn off YouTube and just have on the StreamYard where you ended up clicking the link, and then you can hear me in real time. But what I was saying is, last time you called in, you said, oh, let's see if you read the Bible. What is the Pentecost? And then I told you what the Pentecost was, and then you went off saying, I don't know, I don't read the Bible because I don't know what the Pentecost is. So after I'm like, that's weird. I thought I knew. I went and looked, and it's exactly what I said. So explain, Mr. Preacher, Mr. Theologian, why you can't listen to somebody else when you ask them what the Pentecost is, and then they give you the exact answer. We will wait for you. Your clock is running. Let me look up. If anybody remembers what it was last month, I think, and he asked me what the Pentecost was, and I said it was the day that Jesus went or got the Holy Spirit or something, and the voice came from heaven. And then it's like, okay, let's look at what Pentecost is. It's a Christian holiday. It takes place on the 49th day of after Easter, commemorates the descent of the Holy Spirit upon the apostles. So I don't know what he wanted me to say. I'm waiting for you. Are you there? I think we lost him. I don't see him. Okay, he's still on the screen though. But he's not there. 666, that's nice. Yeah. I feel kind of bad, the caller, for the bad connection or whatever's going on. Yeah, I'm not really sure. You can call back in, but Tim Osmond was there. He didn't have a bad connection. Tim was talking to me in real time. So, Shifty Eye Shady in the house. What's up? We've got Free Will. I like the name. By looking at the fucking moon. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Real Singus, just same bullshit. He says it's only completely dark, including twilight, at the actual poles for like 3 months, and even less at 80 degrees south. Yeah, but I was talking about the South Pole, and I said it would be longer than 3 months. Longer than 3 months for sure. For sure. Let's see here. We've got somebody popped in and left. We'll get back there. Let's see here. What's this one? And you didn't know before 1900 they were teaching flat Earth in schools. So again, you're just believing in what flat Earthers say. There's no evidence of that besides some old lady that Dirth talked to. Somebody said they saw a spacewalk through a telescope. I've actually heard that too. Actually, did I see pictures of it? I might have even seen pictures of it. See what else we got here. But I mean, that spacewalk, I mean, what is that person doing just flailing about? There's some kind of delay. I wasn't trying to talk over. I don't know what the delay was, Rick. You shouldn't be one. Oh, that was the other guy's time. Okay, I'm going to go to the anonymous sheet and see if anybody filled that out. Maybe we have a short show. Maybe it's the end of the speaker's corner. Might be time. Might be time. Forms. A Google form. Where's my Google Forms? Let's find it. Form sign in. We got one. Woo! All right, who is this person? Let's see. Chucky. Thank you for Chucky. Says, sup, Jaron. Much respect for having balls. Thank you. I think most men have that. Did you know that Zetetic Warrior has an entire 7-minute song all about your dick? I'll leave you the link. You should play it. Would be laughs. Anyway, keep making men gay. Okay. I'm not going to be playing that song. Don't want to hear that. And don't care. That's kind of the one thing you don't want is a 7-minute song. Thank you for that, though. Appreciate you letting me know that, but I will not be checking that out. Creaky Blinder has a good explanation for the rover footage. The moon is smaller with a closer horizon and can have mountains that look close, like in Antarctica, and less gravity, less bounce. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to talk to Dave about that. I think that you would have more bounce. In fact, I think it'd be very difficult to drive a cart. I think if you drove and started to turn, the cart would turn over, to be honest with you. Just the way it seems like to me. So, we've got Hans up next, I believe. We got Hans. Let me bring up the screen here. Hans, go ahead. You are on. You got your 4 minutes.
Can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead.
Hello. Hello. Nice to meet you. I wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting to get on that fast.
You're on. Let's do it.
First of all, huge respect to you, Jaron.
Thank you.
For being honest and all of that.
Thank you.
I've been bashing flat earthers. I consider myself a truther, like with COVID and everything.
Uh-huh.
But with flat earth, I've been bashing them hard. And then watching you, like, being this honest and taking all this garbage from people and everything, seeing you're a great guy, basically, it just makes me kind of regret putting so much hate on flat earthers. Well, anyway, so that's, with that out of the way, I've been thinking about this. The reason I called in is I have no intention of making you a moon landing believer or anything.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm not gonna do that. I believe it, but but I wanted to make a case because I've heard you say this thing that that we haven't gone, like we went there, and since then we haven't been like even a thousandths of the way there or something like that, right?
With people, right?
Yeah. And I just wanted to make it, because in my ears it's like I just wanted to make a case that that's not a good argument, basically, because how long did it take for them to go to the, what does it take, right, to go to the moon? You need to put people in a cabin, airtight. You need to have supplies for what? How long were they away? Like a week or something?
Yeah, about a week.
Yeah. And I mean, since then we have done that, except just going the distance, right? Because we have put people in ISS and stuff. So that's basically my case. And then,
yeah, but it's 1/1000th of the distance, right? So the yes, ISS is two.
But then there's the thing about distances in space, because what do they do when they go to the moon? They point the rocket at the moon. I mean, first they put it up in orbit, right?
Which they can do all the time, right? They do that all the time now. They do it almost every day.
Yeah. And then they wait for the right moment because they want to use the speed that they have in orbit.
Correct.
To shoot away towards the moon, and then they fire a rocket for a certain amount of time, but they don't need to fire it the whole time. So where's the challenge compared to just, I mean, so they fire a rocket. They have to be accurate,
right,
and point it at the moon. But then they get it up to a certain speed, and then they wait.
Right.
They shut off the rocket. So that's my case. That it's just not a good argument, at least not in my ears.
Okay. I mean, to me, what you just described seems rather easy to have not done it in 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's just me making the case that it's not a good argument.
Gotcha.
Why it was faked. But then
no, I think it's not a good argument why it was faked, but it is a good argument as to why haven't we gone back? So, but we'll see. They keep saying they're going to go. Maybe they'll eventually go. We'll wait and see.
No, I honestly, also I believe, of course, it comes with the whole believing in moon landing, that I don't think they have a good reason to go back. I don't think they have a good reason to put people, but that's another thing. But
okay.
I just wanted to talk about that.
All right. Do you think that whoever's on the moon would have a strategic advantage over the rest of the world?
There's so much involved with being on the moon. Like if you put it like that, just okay, the one who is on the moon have a strategic advantage. I don't think it's quite a bit away, isn't it? Like, isn't it more of an advantage to have good equipment in orbit?
Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't know that, but you might be right.
But and then, like, why do they say they go there? Well, they wanted to put the flag, and it's a big measuring contest between the. But then, like, okay, so they want to research it.
20 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine. I've said what I wanted to say. I'm not here to argue. Just I wanted to make the case, basically, and say hi to you because you're an awesome guy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Nice you calling in. Yeah. Call in next time, all right?
Yeah, it's late for me in Sweden. I'm probably gonna live in a while and then sleep soonish. But good to talk to you.
You as well. Take it easy.
Stay awesome. Bye.
Later. All right, up next, we look like we've got Hammer Time. I don't know if that means MC Hammer or what kind of hammer, MC Hammer. What's going on, MC Hammer? You got 4 minutes, and it starts now.
Oh, what's up? So I have to make sure I heard this right first.
Okay.
So I watch Jake, right? I think he makes good content and gets more views than, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed, but I guess people like being lied to, and I guess they like guys that barely reach the... you must be this tall to ride sign. But honestly, I just don't want that audience. They think Cameron Diaz is a guy. They think that there's magnets in the field goal posts. So I'll pass on that. No thanks.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. Why did you bring up his height? What difference does that make?
I don't know. It makes a big difference. The guy runs his mouth, and he would never do that in public. He would barely reach my chest if he wasn't running away.
Well, I heard you made a bet with that guy for $10,000 and your channel for biggest dick. Is that true? You really did that?
Well, the guy talked too much shit, so I had to do something. So, yep.
So you challenged the guy, that is. How tall are you?
I'm 6'3", 14 and a half shoe, but who's counting?
Well, I'm 6'5".
Okay, great. What's the point? Who cares?
I just don't find it all impressive that you pick on a guy almost a foot shorter than you, and probably 67 pounds lighter. Like, I'm not impressed, sorry. Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
I don't know, because nobody else has called my wife a whore and my son a bastard. So if they did that, then I'll pick on them as well. So, but hold up. You know that I gave him a handicap, right? You know it wasn't a straight up bet.
What do you mean?
I mean, of course he leaves that part out of the story. I gave him 3 inches. So that was me trying to be fair. So as in whatever he measured, we would have to add 3 inches to it, and I had to beat that.
That's a bluff. Total bluff.
All right, whatever. It's not a bluff. He could have taken my channel and $10,000, but he decided not to. So what can I do?
Tells me it was a total bluff bet. I think you knew he didn't have that kind of money. I wonder why you don't pick on someone your own size then. Why don't you bet me?
What? Bet you? Because I have no reason to, dude. I don't want to embarrass you. And then your girlfriend would call me, and that would be a problem because my wife would find out. She would start tripping. So I don't know. I don't need the headache. And if you are that big, Mr. Oh, geez, now I get it. Hammer Hammer time. Okay, I get it. Nice one, Hammer. I get it. Brilliant. If you think it's a bluff, then you should bet me, and then you'll make me look foolish when I decline.
Yeah, okay, guy. My girl would never call you. Maybe I'll just take your money then.
Okay, then go ahead. Take my money. We're waiting on you. Is this really all you have? This is what you called in about? You don't have anything else?
Okay, then. Bet. $1,000 cash. We do it right after your show.
Like on what, Zoom?
Whatever you want. 1,000, me versus you. When you lose, don't stream and can't post on your channel for 3 months. That's my bet, straight up. I don't want a head start or a handicap or whatever, straight up. Take it or leave it.
$1,000 and I can't. Okay, well, you just made the dumbest move you've ever made in your life. So, Holden, I mean, whatever your name is, Hammer Time. That is the dumbest bet you've ever made in your life. So I accept. So now, what are we gonna do?
Hey, queer, I'm not showing you my dick. Nice try, bitch.
No. And hello? And he's gone. Imagine that. Unbelievable. Oh boy. Flatman B.
Can you hear me, bro?
I can.
Bro, dude, I'm sad, dog. You and Witzik going out there, and you like, seeing that observation, and all of a sudden it's like back to the globe, even though like we don't got no proof of motion or spin, and gravity's garbage. Like electromagnetism makes more sense. Like, what are you doing, baby? What are you doing to me?
Well, yeah, I mean the Earth isn't flat, so if you go,
broke my heart, dog.
I know, it broke my heart, but if you go down to Punta Arenas during the summer down there, you will see what I saw, and you will definitely realize the Earth is not flat. Can't be flat.
What about how geocentrism is more viable option than the heliocentric? Have you gone full heliocentric model or what?
No, I just don't think that it matters much to me anymore. I mean, as far as geocentrism, because I'm going to believe.
So would you be down with like the snow globe situation?
Sure, if it worked. What do you mean? You know, flat Earth situation?
No, geocentric, like geocentrism.
Geocentrism means that we're the center of the universe, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. I mean, I don't see it. I was thinking the other night, I wonder if it could be that we're in the center and spinning, but I'll have to think about it. I don't know if you can actually prove that it's geocentric over heliocentric. Maybe you can. It's just not that important to me because it's not going to change my belief in a creator. I'm not a Bible believer, so the creator, I believe, created everything that there is. So regardless of if he put us in the center or as a part of a system, doesn't really matter to me either way.
Right. And I'm not trying to shove that down your throat. I felt like you seen the observation, and then like maybe a lot of people felt like you just like a false dichotomy, like went right to the heliocentric model. Like, well, they got all the answers, so let's just throw away all these other things.
So if something's a false dichotomy, it means there's more than one choice, right? So if the choices are flat or a ball, what is the other choice?
No. I'm saying a false dichotomy in whether flat Earth or the heliocentric spinning tilting ball.
Well, I've only said that the Earth is a sphere. So that's as far as I've gone.
So you're not pushing like the mainstream shit that you're saying.
Am I pushing it? No, I don't think I'm pushing it. I mean, it's just not as important to me because, as you know, if you're a flat earther, that the South must be a lie for the Earth to be flat, right? Think about it. So,
I'm sorry, say that again.
Does the South have to be a lie if the Earth is flat?
Dude, I don't know, bro. Like, okay. I'm more of like the snow globe, like.
Well, here's the thing. So, the Earth that they give us shows that the North is the opposite of the South. Okay, meaning that they're exact opposites. Meaning that when there's 24-hour sun in the North, then 6 months later it's in the South. Everything's complete opposite. If you went to 37 degrees south and watched the sunset, and then 6 months later went to 37 degrees north and watched the sunset, it would be identical except for inverse, backwards. So
it should be on the current model, yeah.
Right. So the problem is, right. Okay. So if I went down and verified that the South is what they tell us. So what that means is if the South is the opposite of the North, then it can't be flat. That's the problem. So
no. See, but that's the error you just made there, brother. Is that like you can prove something for that thing, but it doesn't falsify the flat Earth in the sense that like you don't like if we don't have an answer for that, it immediately mean it's wrong. Like there might be a reason, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
just like looking for the reason, we just go, fuck it.
Well, because the fact that nobody's looking for the reason. When I got back, everybody said it was either fake, we didn't go to Antarctica, or that it didn't matter. So that told me that nobody cares enough to even come up with a reason or even to look for one. That's what Flat Earth has become. Flat Earth has become deny. Anytime somebody brings something up that doesn't fit our model, we just say it's fake or that it's not real or it doesn't matter. And then we just move on. Well, we're never going to take over the globe like that. You have to better describe reality than the globe does. And we can't even describe the sun. So how you ever, I mean, the globe describes every sunrise, every sunset, every angle. It's all mapped.
I mean, look, bro, I'm not saying you're a liar, bro. I'm not saying you didn't go there. I'm just saying, like, there's got to be other, like, we got to look at.
Well, here's the good news. I'm open to being wrong. So as soon as somebody provides that evidence, I'll jump back as quick as could be. The problem is that I don't.
Well, God bless you, brother. Right. I don't want to take all your time.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. We've got. And now it's time for church chat. And your screen is pixely. Church chat. Church chat, are you there? Holden, by the way, you owe me $1,000. Just putting that out there. All right, I'm going to end that person. Oh, wait. He's there because he's also got his screen share.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Thank you. Oh, it's you. Hello, you're on the air. What a joke.
Yeah, I'm here.
What a joke. Let's go.
Oh, so I wanted to talk to you about your blue origin lie and why you believe in the blue origin.
Okay. Let me start your clock.
So here's a problem I have.
Oh, is this Holden?
When you lie... Oh, yeah, I'll let you start the clock.
It started. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
All right. So the actors and actresses... I have. So the actors and actresses, you said, don't lie, but what about the ones that work for the government that get elected? They lie.
That was my point. My point was these aren't government officials. These are not military people. That's what I said.
So why would you...
Is this your life? Is your life like picking apart everything I've got to say? It's like really, really, very, very gay. Let's go.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? Your time is running out.
My screen's buffering.
Good for you. Get a better internet. I love this clock. Keep counting down. Can it move faster, please? Is this hold? I'm confused though.
Should I just come back later?
No, you're not even allowed on the show if you remember right.
Should I just come back later?
As I said, no.
Yeah, but while I'm here, you also used my name to on Jake's chat to make me look like a sexual monster, and I'm not going to take that either.
Wait,
so
I did what?
You might as well start explaining right now. You're the only one that hates Jake that talks about this.
You're so confused. I don't have
So
any.
you're the only
I
one
don't
that
have
hates
any.
Jake
I don't
that
have any sock accounts. I don't do
penis
anything like that.
contest. And
here we go again with
so
this
look
shit.
what you said. This was my name used.
No, I'm not going to look because it wasn't me, dipshit. Do you understand? Are you clear with that yet? Every month you call in and act like a little crybaby bitch. I'm hoping your time runs out real quick because I already told you you're not allowed back on the show. You masked your voice before. I think that was you who called before. Do you know that there's internet that costs, you can actually pay like more than $10 a month to get your internet? If you pay like $30, you can get decent service. I can't believe that you would see somebody used your name on Jake's channel and you would assume that I have the kind of life that would require me making an account with your name and going and watching Jake's horrible show live from the fucking closet of an office space, and that I would then try and demonize you by writing something that was inappropriate. Like, I don't have that kind of time, bro. I have a life. I have a wife. I know you haven't touched a woman in probably fucking 20 years, if ever. But some of us have that to do. 37 seconds. Longest 37 seconds of my life. Let's play this. It goes well with your... Holden is a bitch. All right. Let's get back to it. Holden, you're not allowed to call back again. Make sure you pay attention. You're not allowed to call back again because you're accusing me of shit that I've never done, and I want to slap you in the fucking face. So, sorry. All right, we've got JR 5 times 1,000. Welcome, my friend.
What's up, Jaron? How you doing?
Good, and you?
You know, I'm good. You know, I feel what that other guy was, this caller before the last caller was saying. I was, he's shocked and he's sad because, I've been here a long time, and it is shocking. It's hard to, I can't listen to some of the shows all the way through, but at the same time, man, I get it. I get it because what you have said over time, where it is now, it has become like a hippie fest of shit, man, and a bunch of joke. It was so serious.
It was so cool before.
Conversation.
It was so
and
cool.
People could deep dive and be mature about it and go out and do their own experiments and challenges. And then somewhere along the way, it became a complete clown fest, a ridiculous clown fest, just like a hippie movement. It became stupid.
And I can tell you when I can tell you when that happened. It happened when live streaming came out, because that's when people stopped doing real research, because then you could get views by just going live and talking about other people and talking about drama and whereas remember before that, I used to have to sit down for a week and put together a good quality collection video where you actually had to research. So that's when things were good and people were actually doing research, because that's the only way you could make it for yourself, right? If you just made a video that had no research in it, nobody would watch you.
Yeah.
But you had to research.
Even a little bit after that, I think too, with the movement, people going out and showing the man on the street, and people really were activists against it on the road, and all kinds of things that you've done, in all these years. And
my bad.
It is ridiculous how, I don't know, man. It's like dealing with the crazy left all of a sudden, in the flat earth world. There's like this colored hair leftist version of a flat earther that I don't know. They don't even, it's hard to even go into how it's become unless you've been here a while. I mean, I don't know how it is for someone that's getting into it new. I do have a friend that is I've tried before to him, and he's always denied it and questioned it, and he's now actually coming back at me that it's flat. Like he's finally, after all these years, it's finally dawned on him that it's flat. And when I mentioned the trip to Antarctica, he's like, well, yeah, that was just a moment that those guys had with that light in the sky. But man, there's so much. And I'm like, yeah, there is, and there could be something, because I'm with you. You saw the light. I believe that happened. I have no question. How to deny that it was stupid in itself. How people, I don't know, man.
Right. Well, they had to. I mean, I understand that.
Put my head through the damn wall,
Yeah.
And yeah. And it could have been something else. I don't know. It was very weird and mind-bending to me, because I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Durham, and I'm watching you guys live, and you see the sun, and it's really low in the sky, and here it's high noon, and I'm like, how does that, if the sun is close, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't work out, even about what you've done on people sailing down there in the racing and art, there's still solid stuff. There's still weird stuff.
There's weird stuff, but I wouldn't say what you said was true when you said something about it not working, seeing from one, like the globe describes every observation that we see in the sky. So if you were to tell me what you didn't get, I could show you right now how it works. But not
the weird thing is seeing the sun. Well, yeah, it's just seeing the sun at the same time when it's overhead to me.
Oh, gotcha.
Even down far down.
And where are you at?
It seems North Carolina, Durham.
Okay. Gotcha. I'll show you. So you're saying why you would see it at noon and we would see it as well?
Yeah, way down in Antarctica.
I'll show you.
You would still. Yeah, it just seemed.
No, I get it.
I don't know.
And I
just
think what you're
there
saying
could be
about the
some
South.
other phenomenon that might explain it, maybe. And I do get that if there's something that changes, you can easily go back the other way,
Right.
Because you have all the ammo, man. You know, to fire back both ways.
Right.
And you know, I even see it in the intro. So when you have your other show, when you show, you know, you mentioned it before about the girls dancing, and you know, and you put on the clips of the girls doing those dances, shuffling.
Oh yeah, shuffle.
You put the little clips together, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. You've said it before, man. That here you are. They make one video. They got millions of followers on learning how to shuffle, and they're making all this cash per month. You know, doing this stupid stuff, and you spent 10 years, and this is what you've got. That pisses me off.
Pisses me off.
You know, I think you should have way more in this community, and for people to call in and play stupid shit, man, that's on them. You know, but you deserve a lot more, man, and for all the work and everything you've done, and you know what this stemmed from. What I think though is that, you know, how they say that, you know, things work in mysterious ways. And maybe the flat earth got stupid now and it doesn't work, and people are split and it's centered. But when it came up, when it started making traction in 14, 15, 16, whenever it began its huge movement, that movement saved people for what happened in 2020 to all of us.
That's true. Actually,
because there was a truth that opened up that even though it's where it is now, what that did and the lives that were saved, however it stemmed off, if the flat earth wasn't your cup of tea, well, maybe another conspiracy was, but it all stemmed, that's where it began. And it woke people up to have enough sense that people were saved from to me. And that to me is like, that is so weird how at any time in this world this could have happened. At any time.
Yeah.
You know, this happens, we're getting lied to, and you know, I think there was, you know, you saved lives, man. You're a part of that. I know it. Many of these beginning people are, you know. So that's where I stand.
Okay.
Anybody's problem.
Can you see the screen right now, or no? Can you see the globe?
Oh yeah, it's small for me.
Yeah, it might be hard. Yeah, I can't really make it bigger. You have to go back and watch after.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
This is showing December 14th, so the day that we were down there. So you'll see if I look underneath here, we get light here, right? So we were about here.
Yes.
We're getting light, and you are in dark. And then as the time comes, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna. So do you think it's that far away? I mean, are you?
Well, I mean,
that's
the only thing.
Closer, farther or closer?
I mean, I haven't looked into that fully, but I mean, the only way the model works is with it being far away. Now, I don't know if it would work the same if it was half the distance or if it was a quarter of the distance. I think it would. You can do that scaling and variance, but I haven't looked into that enough. I just want people to recognize why I don't think it's flat. So if you bring the timer,
I get you, man.
Okay, so it's just because the sun is to the south like this. So if you're looking from the side, it is hitting the bottom and it is hitting you up in the north there. So that it's, again, people are getting confused because they think that when we say that the sun's going around the south, they think it like goes way down low here. And no, I mean, it's like, let's see if we can see the sun. See, the sun is like that compared. And then if you look at the year, if we go through the year here, you'll see how it varies from going up and then down.
Yeah.
So
I just think it would be reversed in my head. I think that if you were down there, you would see it at high noon. Is the same with me, because the angle of it would be more above your head than it would my head.
Well, it should be. Hold on a second. So you're saying, so how high was the sun for you at noon?
It was all pretty overhead.
Well, it's never over your head.
Overhead. I don't know the degrees or anything. I just don't remember going outside and looking. I mean, it was.
Let me see where it would be. So here you're in
over
North
head,
Carolina somewhere. So your angle is say the sun angle there. 127 degrees. Okay. Wait, what?
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that you always saw it at the horizon, right? Was the sun ever directly over your head at all?
No. Well, it was 35 degrees in the north and then 15 degrees in the south. So if we kind of ran this one through the time,
and to me, I would thought it would be like backwards since the tilt is more towards you. I don't know. That's the mind.
Yeah, I'll look into
chaos that happened. Yeah,
no, there's a lot. I'll look into it.
Why am I looking at it up and you should be? Because it should be. You should be. We should both be seeing it. If I'm seeing it high in the sky, I don't see why you wouldn't see it high in the sky.
Well, we did see it high in the sky. We saw it at 35 degrees. But I'm wondering, when you say high in the sky, I mean the sun That's your winter, so it's going to be the lowest it ever is. Probably not much more than 35 degrees itself. I don't know. Anyway, I'll look at that after.
Yeah, you could be right. You could be right, because I never.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that info.
Appreciate you calling in.
I mean, from the heart, what I say to you, man, and you know, I do feel, man, I'm there.
That.
I know you might not be one day. You might get tired of all this and bounce somewhere, but just, man, I'm with it.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
You,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, later.
We've got Sherma, Israel. Sherma.
Shema means that God is one. It's Shema. I'm calling for Israel. I'm not Israeli, but I'm calling from here. That's why we talked. My name is Patrick. I called in earlier, but I couldn't hear you, so I'm calling one more time.
Got you. Go ahead. So
Thank
what?
you.
So what I was asking is last. Hold on. Let me just go first. Last time you said that I didn't read the Bible because I didn't know what Pentecost was. But didn't I say that's when the Holy Spirit came down?
That the Holy Spirit came, but the whole purpose of it, that was the question, because the question of it is like, the purpose of it is from the beginning in the Bible, because it all starts with the Levitical priesthood, and then it goes
just
all
so
the
you know,
way to Jesus.
If you asked anybody who's religious, what is the Pentecost, nobody would say, oh, it's what the Bible's talking about from the very beginning. Nobody would say that. So it was an illegal question, and I'm calling foul on that. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. They will understand the purpose of it, because the purpose is about the Spirit. Because then we went into that you said that Jesus was a metaphor of the Son, and that is, you know, I don't know how much before the Wi-Fi got disconnected, but
3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So the thing is like this: David Weiss and the popular community of New Age teaches this lie. It all goes way to zeitgeist and bad documentaries like that, you know, Jesus is a metaphor of the sun. He's not even birthday. He's not even the 25th of December like Mithras and the sun god. That the Bible does not teach when he was born. Probably 9/11 is the most common, but that's why the ritual in 2001, which was 2,000 years after Jesus' death and resurrection, expected 2,000 years because he was born year one. So the thing is like this. So to understand why they would say Jesus is God is because the Trinity was developed in 325 by Constantine, sun worshipper Mithras. He was the one, the system, if you will. Satan inspired, I would say, created the whole system, and the Catholic Church built on it, and then the Protestant Church in the 1500s, like in 1517. Martin Luther developed, forwarded the Trinity, and now we have it in the free churches, like in the 1800s and things like that. All the denominations teach that Jesus is God, but the Bible does not. So why would they lie? That's the question. Here is the mental block I think you have, because you're thinking that Jesus is God, and that is a crazy story, because that means that God went down to earth and died and went back, and that is totally Gnostic, and it's not biblical.
Yep, I agree.
So if we understand that simple thing, because the mental block, I think you have, like in the flat earth, you have, no matter what I believe if it's flat or not, but I think you have the same there, because you need to just read one chapter, you know, in the New Testament, whatever. Read one chapter, read Matthew 1, and you will see the genealogy of Jesus. He can never be the Son. It goes all the way back in history. You know, the Bible teaches history is not a metaphor of anything. Maybe it's metaphors. It could be like Hebrew idioms is called, like a language used, but it's not anything metaphors. David Weiss uses that like a hit piece, like, oh, Jesus is the Son, he's walking on the water. It's very bad. You know, it's very simple to use one Bible passage and just twist it to that. But the Bible in its whole do not teach it. So that's what I just wanted to forward to you and think about, because if the whole popular Christianity teaches, like 2 billion people, like Catholic and Protestant Church teaches that Jesus is God, but the Bible does not, then we have to ask, why would they lie? It is very simple. As in theology, you can read the Bible and you will see it's not possible. He can both be God and a man at the same time. They say it's 100% man, 100% God, and that is from Plato. It's a Gnostic teaching from the Hellenistic Greece in before Jesus. It's like 300 from Plato's time. So this is a total Greek theology. So it's nothing about the Bible.
Right.
So yeah. So
Okay.
So do you have any question regarding that? Have you thought about that? I'm just gonna leave that with you. Have you ever thought about why this controversy about if it's God or not?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about why, but I mean, I just don't think that it could be something that's dependent on your salvation. It's just not. There's no God that would say it's important that you believe in His Son that came down here, and if you don't believe in His Son, but you're still a good person, that you're going to hell. That's all fabricated nonsense. So I don't believe it.
Also, yeah, and also hell. Just to put that in, hell is also fabricated. The Bible does not teach like a every tormenting hell. It's teaching a second death where people will be burned. Not to like.
Won't they be biting tongues and mashing jaws or something?
No, Jesus used that as a metaphor of the Gehenna.
So now the metaphor there. So the metaphors, you said there's not metaphors, but now there is.
No, he's using Gehenna as a metaphor, like Gehenna was this burning garbage in Jerusalem. So using that, they threw corpses on that. So he's using that as a metaphor for burning, But of course, yes, we will burn and die forever if we don't. We have a choice, we have a free will. So yeah, but we will not die. Tormenting, like that would be eternal life in hell. So they say, eternal death is eternal death.
Thank you. Your 4 minutes is up. Appreciate it. Okay, let's take a quick time out. We have a message from Dave Weiss here. Dave always likes to leave us messages whenever possible, so we'll let him speak here. Go ahead, Dave. Tell us what's up.
My mouth when I suck a little bit.
Oh, okay. What is it again? I didn't understand. What do you say?
Right? My mouth when I suck a little bit.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you for that.
My mouth
Appreciate it.
when I suck up.
Let's go with Ruhif. And now the king of geometry.
That was funny.
My mouth when I suck a little bit. Yeah.
Very good.
What's up? Let me start your clock.
Oh yeah. I'm jonesing for a debate. Pretty much, that's what I'm here for.
Who do you want jonesing with? Or who do you want to debate?
Like the last one I watched was Will Duffy versus Kingdom in Context, and I've tried to engage Kingdom in Context.
Okay.
He doesn't seem overly responsive, and I've been quite pleasant, but he blocked me anyway.
Okay. So Sean, if you're out there, there's somebody who wants to challenge you. That's one person. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think TFE's kind of killed the debate scene.
Yeah, because I think that they know what's going to happen in a debate. The first question is going to be, where's the South Pole?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I'm happy just to debate fucking see too far, that sort of shit.
Okay.
Anything really.
I
need my fix. Is pretty much what I'm saying.
And I've got my show is available. It's just the only debate that's been offered to me recently is that guy Kevin John, who wants to debate FTFE over whether or not buildings curve. So I mean, I'm like, dude, like, we're really going to debate this? I'm like, the worst debate I've had was because you debated those guys on whether ice rinks curve, and I'm like, so now it's going to be whether buildings curve. So again, they just don't understand scale. He doesn't understand how you can have 660-foot levels, and we could just keep putting it on the Earth, and they would all stay level, and they would all go around and become a ball. So
hang on, no, all good. I thought my daughter was going to come in.
Sean is honest and educated as Flatzoid. Flatzoid's got to be the worst on internet. On YouTube.
If Flatzoid offered a debate, I would actually turn it down.
The guy's so honest. Him and Sov, just Mr.
So I'm desperate, but I'm not that desperate.
Right.
So.
Okay, got you. Jonesing, but not really jonesing.
Yeah. Fucking chasing the dragon.
It's all right.
What else?
I don't know. I do have to revisit. One of the things I have to revisit is San Clemente, unfortunately. I know that. I gotta bring up my video and show people that what we saw. So
yeah, that you're missing. Was it 1800?
Do you think it's weird that maybe it's just me, but isn't it weird that whenever you take the tops of mountains, they do kind of look like the mountain? Like Canigou kind of looks like Canigou, and so does Clemente look like Clemente. It's kind of weird.
With Canigou, you've got the fact that the sun is there is awesome for Canigou because you've got an angular size, right? So you've got a half degree width of the sun. You can use that to make sure that you've got your scale correct. So you can't accidentally.
Well, and this is the problem, right? So did I have a good answer to Dave Weiss's the 20,000 foot clouds or what are blocking my rocket from taking off? Because that just destroys all.
Canigou's 9,000 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so then how would we see that? How would you see anything taller than 20,000 feet? You never would. So it's just a dumb made up answer.
Dave's a grifter. I remember saying to you in Telegram probably 3 or 4 months before TFE.
Mhm.
I said something like, when you get back, I think Dave Weiss is going to be one person you will very much look differently at.
Really? You said that? I'm going to go back and look.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, because he's a grifter, right?
Well,
he was on.
I tend to not know whether he believes it or not, but I think, at least for me right now, I think he just really believes it, and like so much to the point where he just is, he believes it more than he believes in me, obviously. So I guess it could be that he's just lying to everybody, but I don't know. I guess it's hard for me to say.
He was on a.
He has told a lot of lies.
Interviews flogging his app the other day on.
Did he say
Peggy Hall?
Oh, Peggy Hall.
The health.
Well, I did threaten him that if he said one more time that he's offering 3 Bitcoins and nobody's been able to give him an answer, that I'm going to go to a lawyer and show them, hey, here's this guy who says, because you can't use it to sell your app. That's what's the law.
There may be things afoot at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I kind of heard. So we'll kind of hold off. But I did want to just put it out there and say, again, those guys, it would be an easy half of, because what would that be? That's like $250,000.
Yeah, what's it at now?
To 3 Bitcoin, I think. It'd be more than $250,000, right? Is it 95?
It'd be more than $250,000 Aussie. It's 96, yeah. Yep.
Wow. 96 US?
Yep.
Oh, that's like 290.
Sometimes
Jeez.
he said 6 Bitcoin as well. So I don't even know if he has 6 Bitcoin.
I wouldn't doubt that he's got 3, kind of knowing what I know, but I wouldn't. Again, he could have spent that all too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
holidays to
anyway,
Mexico.
His mistake was when, but his mistake is when you say, when he said that one time, go down to Antarctica, prove this 24-hour sun exists, and prove the globe. That's where you. That's the key.
That's been well clipped out.
Yeah, that's
well
good.
clipped.
All right, thanks.
All right. Anyway, debate challenge for
anybody wants to debate. I want you to debate. What's his name? St. Pierre. Because the more I've been watching him now, I realize what his game is, which is just to say what we see, and then pretend like it works on a flat Earth. Right.
Yeah.
So at 90 degrees, the equator, we go over 90, it sets at 270. It's like, yeah, but you didn't explain how that is answered on the flat Earth.
Shane and I used to be pretty decent friends.
I would say the same thing.
I would say sort of the relationship among the other Ether Cos guys have soured between me and them, which has impacted the relationship between me and Shane.
Oh.
Not that it would be a. It would still be a friendly debate,
right?
But there's, I'd be less forgiving, I would say.
Okay. All right. Well, we got the debate challenge. Hopefully, you bring back debatism. All right. Thanks.
Yes. All right.
Okay. And I believe that is. Oops. We've got everybody. Let me go back to the forums. Last time we got. Who's? Oh yeah, that's the guy from Israel. Dino K Truth versus Giant Humans Fairy Tale. Shane and Alan need more debunking, in my opinion. Hi, me. Where's me? Me here? There's me. What's up, Megan? How are you? It's hard to always be 100% certain, but with Dave, I'm a random finger on grifter. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to not say he is because I've seen the lies he's told about me. I've seen the lies that he's told to other people about me. And then he actually just has no problem. Like, I know it was him who told certain people things because they told me that. And it's the same story with each person. So it's like, oh, okay, clearly that's him. And then when I called him out for it in an email, he responded that it wasn't him. That he didn't tell anybody that. He never told anybody that. I'm like, dude, like now you're just lying flat out to me. So I guess that kind of makes my choice for me. Yeah, that does. How can you call him not that? And then, I told him also, stop saying that you had 3 Bitcoins available for anybody who, because he says, download my app, and if you can bring 1 globe proof, then I'll give you 3 Bitcoins. Well, that's just a way to get people to download the app because they think that they can get 3 Bitcoins. But the truth is, he should have to tell them, oh, and by the way, somebody did actually fulfill what I said would be proof, and I just said it was fake. So good luck. And then that would be nobody would buy his app because they'd be like, well, we have no chance of winning the Bitcoin. He's already reneged on one person that got it. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then the picture of Mars, I got to check some of his latest ones to see if he's still using that ship. And here's the reason why. Flat Earth has learned to block anybody that says anything different. So they don't hear any of the comebacks. Who was messaging me the other day that said something about Steve Falconer? Like, oh, Steve Falconer already debunked your whole thing with Antarctica, Scam-Arctica. I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is the problem, is that nobody sees when somebody is so clearly wrong and debunked. It's disgusting. Really bad. And then you got, I don't know if you guys seen Where's Wally's video about Dearth. Dearth is now to the point where he's having arguments with the Chat GPT. Guys, this is not proof of anything. Chat GPT is not a person, does not have a mind. Okay, it's a collection of writings. It's just a glorified text search engine that tries to answer you in a way that that you're looking for. And Dave is like talking through it, and the guy, the AI is like way smarter than Dave. It's like keeps repeating itself. It's like slows down to talk to him. Like, listen, sir, like you don't get it. You don't get how velocity works and how speed works. And he thinks he won something by, and then he eventually tells the Chat GPT like, okay, well now you need to be like this, and you need to know that it's fake, and you need to. And it's like, I mean, of course, that's what the Chat GPT does. So. Sad to see how far Flat Earth has devolved. If you think we would have ever seen Bob Nodell having a debate against ChatGPT, boy, you're mistaken. You are mistaken. All right, let me bring up the forms. We got one more person, looks like, submitted, or two more. All right, we've got this person says, curious question. In relation to you supposedly seeing the light now, considering your motto, always on is sometimes right, Erica Dubé, Dave Weiss, and lots of other flat earthers, especially all the cosmology flirts, have all shown out-of-focus lights with the P900 and P1000 claiming their planets and stars. Did you ever know they were lying? And back in the day, did you ever promote it? And if you knew they were lying, why? So I did not. If you go look, you'll never find me showing those flashes, although I do remember maybe showing it once and saying that I wanted to see if it was true what people were saying about them having signatures, like, you know, these are things that flat earthers say that I thought that flat earthers were honest. So I was like, oh, well, then it must be true. I've learned since then that anything a flat earther says, you need to double check it, triple check it. They're lying about their height above the water. They're lying about the distance that they are. They're lying about what they did or didn't see. They're lying about who said what. They're lying about whether they went to Antarctica or not. They're lying about whether they talked to a pilot or not. That kind of thing. So I've had to relook at everything now. And that's one thing that seems to be the case. If you zoom into a light that's down the street, and it's out of focus, you'll get that same kind of light reaction. Yet if you're in focus, then a star stays a pinprick. So that is, I think, your answer or your question. But yeah, I think I mentioned it on Monday Night Raw a few times. I know that Rose also knew that that was just out of focus shots. But I think maybe my problem is, looking back, maybe I should have done like videos. I never wanted to do like videos against flat earthers just because of a difference in opinion. Maybe that was my problem. Maybe I should have immediately done a video then and said, this is horseshit, and then immediately done a video, but I would have just been removed way sooner, that's all. Because again, they don't allow you to go against their worldview. And it's unfortunate because they don't realize that their worldview will never be right. And it's because you get cooped up, you get involved in it, you get too mixed up in it. And then all your friends are flat earthers and everything. Think of the people on Facebook that maybe have a Facebook group that's they're the admin of. So they feel really important and they probably get a lot of messages and they got friends in there and everybody talks flat earth all the time. So if I come along and say the flat earth is false, they're just not going to see that. They're going to ignore me, delete me, block me, because the alternative to that means that they have to shut down their group, that they're no longer important in that group and they're no longer talking to those friends every day. And some people just can't have that. Some people would rather lie to you, and they may not even know it's a lie. But I know that feeling because as I went to conferences, it actually just gave me more of a sense of bravado or kind of a narcissistic position that you're like, oh, we must be right. And there's so many people that believe it with us, and that all these people are saying, and then any little evidence that comes up from the past, or, you know, here's a 106-year-old lady who says that she was taught it. Well, you just push that right into your category. But then think about it. How many people that are 100 years old would say they weren't taught it? Probably hundreds of thousands, or however many are alive. So again, it's that thing where it's definitely confirmation bias. It's when you go searching for what you're looking for. And in the world, especially today with the internet, you can find it, right? Name something fringe. If we searched on the internet, we would find it. Well, maybe not nowadays with the dead internet, but I mean, I think my biggest issue is going to be going forward is that I'll never be, I don't think, who the science crowd wants me to be, and I'll never be who the flat earth crowd wants me to be. So unfortunately, that leaves me with such a small niche that I probably won't be able to make it here. And that's, I get it, you know, and that's what the cost of being honest is. That's the cost of being real. Hopefully, you guys recognize that the people that you're watching are not being honest. They're not being real. So they are giving you what you want to hear. They're talking what their audience wants to hear. despite being disproven, despite being shown that their claim is wrong. All the upward rising earthers, nobody can answer the question again of whether or not there's a acceleration, which we know that there is, and it can be measured. And then you ask them, well, there's a problem, of course, right? If there's an acceleration that we're moving up, we'd be moving way faster than the speed of light by now, so that'd be gone. And if there's no acceleration, then that means if we drop a brick from 1,000 feet high or we drop a brick from 1 foot high, it would do the same damage to the person below it. And we all know that's not true. That alone is the end of upward moving Earth. That's it. But because there's an audience that likes it, the guys who push that will continue to push it. They're not being honest. They are catering to their audience. So did I cater to my audience when I went to Antarctica? Did I cater to my audience 6 months before when I said what it would mean if we saw a sun circle? Have I catered to my audience since? Did I cater to my audience yesterday? Will I cater to my audience tomorrow? The answer is no, and that just isn't how you get people on YouTube. And I know that, and I have a choice. Do I become that person, or do I stay myself? And I'm going to stay myself. Let's go with Steve from Wormhaven. Wait, I saw something you did recently. What did I see? Oh, you did the video about Dave. Well done.
Right,
well
that's
done.
correct.
Well done.
Can
Well
you
done.
hear me?
I hear you great.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, that's what the call was for. So basically, calling to see what you thought about that, and the points that he colludes with the smart contract regarding the Freemason sort of activity. So I don't know if you saw that or not, but that's sort of what I wanted to get your thoughts about.
I heard you talking about it. I mean, I haven't looked into it yet, but that's not part of the deal. That however many people sign up, then there's a certain amount of coins that go into, and if nobody claims them, they go into another wallet. Isn't that what the deal is?
Right. That's definitely part of the deceptive practices tied to his crypto coin. But the part that I found the most interesting was a smart contract that wash trades the coin, holds Ordo Templi Orientis tokens and Order of the Temple of the East tokens. No proof that that's Dave's actual wallet, but the fact that it's wash trading Dome Shot, he would have to be aware of that to some degree. Those screenshots are posted on my community tab if you wanted to look at them at any point, but I was just curious what you might think of that.
No, I mean, it's definitely good that you're pointing it out if it's true. All crypto is basically becoming a scam, and at least these shit coins or these sub coins. And I think, when they said that Bitcoin would eventually be 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, I think it probably would be today if it wasn't for all the shit coins, because I think a lot of people saw an opportunity, or they thought there was an opportunity. They didn't realize that it was all rug pulls and things like that. And so people would see their money sitting at 50,000 doing nothing, and they're like, well, I don't want that. I need it to move. So then they would take it out of Bitcoin, put it into shit coins, and then get it stolen from them. So that would be really shitty if Dave was doing that to people. I don't put it past him. And I even saw one of the weirdest things ever. When I told him that his app was leaking data, and then he shut it down. Eventually, this is after like a week of telling him, he finally shut it down. 2 hours later, he puts it back up with a little note that says, make sure you enter your crypto address. After I just told him that it's, and you can't clean up a security problem like that in 2 hours and then start asking people for their crypto address. Right. So, and I heard that they could even change the address. Go ahead, sorry.
Right. All that onboarding information he has available as well. You'll notice there's no legal disclaimers with any of that.
Right.
The only disclaimer anywhere surrounding Dome Shot is at the very bottom of the page, which you wouldn't scroll to for any reason.
And that's your channel name. It's on the screen, right? So if people want to check out what we're talking about, his channel name's Steve from Wormhaven. Where's Wormhaven? Is that how you say it?
That's the band I sing for. It's actually a
okay.
metal band. So
didn't know if that was
that's not important. But if anybody wants to take a look at what I found on my community tab and give some feedback or their thoughts on it, I'd love to have a conversation about it.
Yeah, and so you contacted the people you needed to contact, right?
Yeah, I made a SEC report, and that's also on my community tab as well.
Okay.
Just basically goes over. It's not his crypto coin, actually. It's somebody named Matt Wong.
Yeah.
And they're the founder of the coin, but promoting the coin is just as good. So it's in regards to both of them.
Oh, so I didn't know Matt Long is listed as the owner where in the smart contract?
Yeah, it took me weeks to find that out. There's no telling what wallets he owns, but as far as his association with the coin itself, he was very distant with that, which isn't good.
Okay, good to know. All right, anything else for us?
Yeah. No, that's all. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Later.
Yeah, bye.
All right, let's go with who's next. We've got Billy. Oops. I almost click on there. Billie Jean is not my lover. He's just a guy who. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Are you sure? All right.
Depends.
I was going to ask you, coming out of the thicket of it now, if you think there's any meat on the bone that Flat Earth is some type of government disinformation campaign, or if you think about that at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I tend to think that right now, and I guess I haven't looked into it really enough, but I mean, there's too many things like the no camera at the South Pole, having those cut off is just, it's going to cause people to ask questions, and then when I ask questions and they give me the wrong answers, and then they eventually told me to contact my government, there has to be a kind of a reason for doing that. And then also, every time the mainstream has had a chance to prove it on a public place, they've faked it. They faked the Stephen Hawking, they faked the Nat Geo. So to me, that does call into question of why you would ever do that. I guess
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also, and then Eric Dubay, I don't know if people remember Eric Dubay.
Clown.
Yeah. Came out with his book, which was like completely fully written and like done by early 2014. And it was right after, maybe it was late 2014. But it was right after the movie The Principal came out, and The Principal was getting all kinds of press because it was going to be opening in these different theaters, and that kind of shut the whole thing down because Flat Earth became a thing, and then everybody forgot all about The Principal.
Yeah, he's a goof. I've been a conspiracy analyst for quite some time, actually right around that era, and looking at crimes, things that are actually conspiracies definitionally.
Right.
2 or more people plotting to do something rather than just denying geometry, because that's what you're doing with Flat Earth. You're saying that Pythagorean's theorem doesn't work. So I called into question him. I don't know, you know more about his history prior to 200 Proofs of Nothing. Once that came out, you can like backdate if you go to Google and you search in the
date.
Well, you just set the timeline on it. It's like you search Flat Earth before that movie came out, which was like November 2015.
Right.
There's like 100 results. You search after that movie, millions.
You mean after The Principal?
No, after 200 Proofs of Nothing.
Oh,
as
I
I
got
like
you.
to call it.
I thought that was a book, but you mean the video?
The movie, yeah, and they were being promoted by the same bots that were promoting Donald Trump coming out of Russia on 4chan.
Okay.
So a lot of people think that it was a Duganist plan to sort of create this
And you know
mental
that
mind.
Dubay
ahead.
is from D.C.
Yeah, is it CIA or is it Alexander Dugin and the Soviet, second Cold War thing? I don't know. All of that stuff's interesting, or maybe it's none of that. Maybe it's just people becoming retarded.
Could be.
But it's something to look at. I mean, the CIA is not above that. They
No.
paid Jackson Pollock to change abstract art. Jackson Pollock's paintings sell for $500 million today because the CIA made him famous. That is garbage.
Yeah.
That's just squirting paint on a canvas. It's a joke. But
It's a joke.
I guess my second point and final point would be Flat Earth is really easy to debunk. It's a matter of, does the South converge or does it sprawl? And I've been trying to get Will Duffy to talk about the Vondi Globe, which was going on while you guys were down there. I talked to MC Toon from time to time.
Right.
Why? Because, and I've talked to Whitsitt, he has schizophrenia, by the way, but over the years, he just denies that it exists. It's people, the best skippers in the world.
Oh, no, that
solo
definitely
sailors.
exists. The Vendi Globe?
It's pronounced Vondi, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. 100% real, yeah.
Yeah. What is the Flat Earth response to that? They say it's fake.
I've never heard anybody say it was fake. When I used to talk about it, I called into question the speeds of the boats because the finishing speed is nowhere near what I thought it should be. I'll have to go back and look at that again. But I think one year it came in like 10 knots or something, which again is like kind of ridiculous.
The average speed of the boats?
The average speed of the winning boat.
Okay.
So that seems rather slow because that boat can do about 30, 35 miles per hour. And then
but they sleep. They put it on autopilot. I did the math for
right,
Will,
but they still
that you would talk about it.
But they sleep for 5 minutes. So they're athletes.
5 minutes a day?
5 minutes every hour.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do think you should go pretty fast. I get it's in the Southern Sea. It's going to have some ice. No, I don't actually think they see any sea ice. I don't think they're that far south. But I've got questions about the speed. But that's it. Besides that, it is a real race. What is the only other weird thing that? Oh yeah. So there is a former captain. You might want to go check out Ben Taboo Conspiracies channel. He's got an interview with this guy. His name is like Urbe Irvone or something. You can actually just look through his videos. You'll see it. He's a guy who used to race in that race, who said that they turned left the whole time. So I don't know if he's just a Christian who is, piggybacking off this movement and making it a flat Earth thing. But
he's got to be.
Yeah, I would think that's the case.
If that's true, because I did the math on it, it makes sense. I didn't get 10 knots. I think it was like 15 or 20.
Okay.
The distances. I just did the formulas and stuff to give Will an answer because he wanted to know why it's a flat Earth killer. I was like, wait, are you assuming that these 50 people that do the race are even... They don't know where they're going.
I think that he knew. I think that he knows that the flat earthers have been able to use that because of the speeds.
Okay, but if they ever stop, which they do, like a lot of them quit halfway through, then
Right.
they'd be quitting around Australia if it was flat,
As opposed to where?
As opposed to Antarctica, or somewhere on the Atlantic. They go straight down the Atlantic. They
Right, but they don't come
circumnavigate
anywhere
it.
near Antarctica. They're like at least 500 miles or more away.
Yeah, but they go around it, and they go around it, and then they come up near South America, and then go
Right.
back
and
up
then head
the
back
Atlantic.
up to right.
Yeah,
It's a pretty awesome race. I mean, that is, you talk about impressive. I mean,
hell yeah.
100 days that you're out there by yourself, or not 100 days. It's less than that, but by
the guy
yourself.
won it in 60 this year, I think.
60 days.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
fast, man.
Yeah, I'll have to check on that and see what the time was. But
all right, take it easy,
hey,
bud.
thanks, appreciate it, Billy. All right, we got an opening here. Let me get rid of it. We're gonna check one more time on this chart. Did we get everybody here? Let's refresh. Hope everybody's doing well. By the way, tomorrow, if I didn't mention it, I know I was going to 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. There'll be no Unplugged. Unplugged will be unplugged tomorrow. But at 1:30, we're going to have myself and Dave McKeegan, and we're going to present some moon landing hoaxery evidence and see what his response is to that. And then we'll go from there. If you have something that you want to make sure is presented, make sure you get it to me. Telegram, t.me/Jeranism. Don't tell me after the fact and say, oh, you didn't mention this. Oh, you didn't talk about this. I had all the evidence that this is fake. Because so far the people that have been messaging me, which has been like 10 people, have all said the same thing. Like, oh, bro, we didn't go for sure. I'm like, I know. What's the evidence? Oh, it's obvious. I'm like, yeah, I know that. I'm saying I told you to contact me if you had evidence. Like, oh, well, there's tons of evidence. Yeah, I know that. So do you have anything? But nobody's really come. I mean, there's a couple guys. Don't get me wrong. A couple guys have come back with some pretty good stuff, and we got that lined up. We got my 2 or 3. I talked to Alex Stein last night. He had a couple he wanted to add. So we do have a good list. But as far as like tangible evidence that I can hand him, it's not really, there's not that much. Now, again, in my opinion, I think there's reasons for that. I think that they could have cleaned up a lot of stuff since then. And I think that they have, and I think I can show that as part of my evidence. I think Apollo 15 shows that the moon rover thing is fabricated. And then in 16 and 17, they no longer filmed from the rover. So you can't even find any film of that, which kind of plays into the fact of if they realized that it was not coming out too well, or people were able to determine from it that there's issues, then so besides that, lots of questions about cameras and film and temperature variations. I mean, we were down in Antarctica. If it got much colder than 10 degrees Fahrenheit there, we would have lost a lot of our camera stuff. So those guys were up there supposedly in the shade at negative 250 or negative 300 Fahrenheit. And then just by walking into the sun, you'd be immediately at 250 Fahrenheit. So would that affect film? Would that affect cameras? I would tend to think you couldn't operate anything in that kind of weather. But that is just me, so we'll ask Dave McKeegan to find that out tomorrow. That's at 1:30 in the p.m., which is going to be fun. But, oh yeah, one thing I want to say, just because I had a lot of people message me upset about last night, and I just want to prepare them that you are being totally, what do I want to say? You're being unrealistic in your expectations of me. Just want to say that you don't know, and I know that some of you guys have got to know me a little bit better, but you should know that I'm not the kind of person that's just going to now say, oh, everything science says is true. It's just not the case, and it will never be what I say unless I have time to go through every single thing that we're talking about, which may not be the case. So as things come up, I'll look at evidence, and you'll actually get to watch in real time. If there's evidence that convinces me, you'll see me be convinced. So that should make you happy, rather than asking me to do what I don't know if that's what you do or why you would think that that's okay to think to ask somebody, which is basically, oh, you were a dum-dum for 10 years. You're going to be a dum-dum again if you don't believe everything that science says. So that's just never going to be me, and it shouldn't be me. It shouldn't be anybody. People should believe things based off of evidence, and that's it. And you might be thinking, like I said, well, you were a flat earth for 10 years, so you ignored evidence. Well, the difference is now because of that and seeing what happened and seeing what happens with the confirmation bias, it didn't tell me that everything I believe is false. It told me that everything that I believe should be looked at again and, basically the evidence reweighed. Because now without a biased mind or trying to remove yourself from that heavy bias and knowing that you can make such a big mistake is, I think, the best method forward. So I'm just telling you, there's no use in emailing me. It actually frustrates me to no end for you to email me and say that stuff because it's not helpful, to be honest with you. Nobody who sent me a message made me go, okay, you know what, they're right. I should just believe everything that I'm told. It's just not the case and won't happen. So let me see if there's any more responses. And then I can probably open up the chat for any questions if we have that. Or what time are we at? We're only 1:46 in. What do you have here? Nope, that's the same two questions. GE Phil and Chucky. Who's in the chat? How's Alex Jones' popularity now? I'm not from the U.S., so I don't know. We could ask him. Alex Jones, how's your popularity right now? If you wouldn't mind being honest about that, please.
I can now remove the tinfoil hat.
Is it?
Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty.
So he's doing well. I'm Craig says, yet you're here. Blood finds its shit level. Nice. Swallow in the house, GE says, turning the frogs gay. Oh, you want that one too? We got that one. There you go.
Do you understand that?
No, that's not the right one.
Serious crap.
Where's the gay frogs?
Do you understand that? Serious crap.
I thought I had it. I guess I don't. This one's my favorite.
You're going to get cancer and you're going to die.
It's true. It's true.
And they got so trendy.
Alex Jones writes all of his lyrics. I figured that. If your songs are anything like that, it'd be good. How about this one? This is a great one.
And they're going to watch babies die and love it because they're good guys. The government's good. Boobies aren't things that give you milk. Boobies are things that kill you.
I want to know the context of that one. That's hilarious. 70 moon missions before the first moon landing. What? Multiple countries have gone. Several private companies have gone. 6 manned moon landings with video and film. 100 missions since Apollo. 100 missions to the moon? Okay. So, again, more people providing evidence that it's very easy to go. So, yet they need all this money and they need to redo the technology, which makes no sense. You know, you can get up in orbit. So, get up in orbit and then blast off to the fucking moon. And then people say, oh, there's no reason to go back there, and oh, the money thing. And I mean, I've never seen so much cope with like excuses in my life. Doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that they'll say anything, absolutely anything, anything at all. Again, I'll keep bringing up the companies thing. You would never, ever, ever, ever in a million years, if we even today, if we decided, hey, we're going to go to Mars, can you imagine the United States government saying, okay, so to go to Mars, we need to get, let's get 20,000 companies. Okay, 20,000 companies and 400,000 employees. Let's have them make all the parts. Would that make any sense? With no email communication, it would have been handwritten plans on, passed through mail, talked on the phone. Hey, what size is that little thing? And then everything fit together. 20,000 companies came together. What? I mean, think of how great America is. Can we say the national anthem or something? We should, because it really makes me feel. Do we have any? Let's see if we have Trump. Got to say something. Trump, can you please say something on behalf of the United States for all the great things they've done? Please, thank you.
Well, folks, eliminate one
That's
tax
not Trump.
loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth.
No.
$1.4 trillion worth.
No.
Out of $1.4 billion. Excuse me, $1.4 billion.
No, that's wrong. You came close though. This is my favorite. I love the Bush stuff.
What do you think tribal sovereignty means in the 21st
Bush was
century?
smart. Listen to this.
And
He's
how
smart.
do we resolve conflicts between tribes and the federal and state governments?
Please tell us.
Tribal sovereignty means that it's sovereign. I mean, you've been given sovereignty, and you're
viewed as a sovereign entity.
Thanks. People are laughing at him.
Okay. And
Okay.
therefore, the relationship between the federal government and tribes is one between sovereign entities.
Thank you. It's really good. Corn Pop was a bad dude. He usually tells me to buy his app, though. I don't blame Biden for that one. They had live video, brought back films, took photos of the Earth from the moon, were gone for several days, landed back on Earth with astronauts aboard. What you got? Yeah, I mean, that's the story. I mean, it'd be like you know, think of any situation where you're just repeating the alibi. Okay, so what do you mean? So what do you mean? What do I have? You want me to show you where they were? See, that's the thing that I think people don't realize is that they've had time to clean up anything. If there was any mistakes in any photos, if there was any footage that they needed to hide away, they've just hidden it. And in order to get it, you would have to do a FOIA request. And when you do a FOIA request, it takes them 8 months to get it back to you. And then they charge you $1,800. If I called and asked for all the rover footage from Apollo 17, I bet you it would cost me $20,000. So is that a FOIA request to you? Is that I mean, imagine that's what the government tells us. Hey, you can do a FOIA request at any time and look into our paperwork. But then when you tell them, they're like, give us 6 months, we'll get back to you. And then, oh, that's brilliant. Let's start treating criminals that way. By the way, everybody out there doing financial crimes, here's the deal. The government can come and ask you at any time what you're up to, and you have to provide them all your paperwork and everything that they ask for. However, you have 6 months. So when the government knocks at your door and says, hey, we think you're smuggling money in here, you're doing sex trafficking, and you're like, okay, come back in 6 months. They're like, all right. Then when they come back, you have all your paperwork in order. You're like, look it, we weren't doing anything. And you're like, oh man, look it, we got direct access and they weren't doing anything. Isn't that amazing? The government never did anything wrong ever. Is it because when they ask for a FOIA request, they know what you're looking into and then they can get rid of the parts of it that are a problem? Oh, that can never be it. The government loves you. We need Alex Jones again. Alex, can you tell us about the government, that they love us and all that stuff, please? Please tell us. I don't remember where it was now. I don't remember. It wasn't boobies. It wasn't babies die. Yeah, it was.
And they're going to watch babies die and love it because they're good guys.
Right, because they're good guys.
The government's good.
They're great. Government's good. They're great. Great people. Oh, we got somebody over here. Tony Coriolis. Tony, welcome to the show. Hold on, I got to get your song up here, and there we go. All right, there we go. It's Tony Coriolis, everybody. He, I like the glass, man. That fits perfect.
What?
Just the music with the glasses and with the hair and with the everything. How many people you killed today?
I agree. And I've been wearing the glasses for a while.
Nice. You look very cool.
Keep me to a strict 4. Thank you. Okay. So, right off the bat, I wanted to say, Jaron, who could have guessed how this year's been going so far? You know,
not me.
It's been interesting. And yesterday that video you had with the guy illustrated a lot. Because it's not like your streams lately have been in that same line on, hey, hold up, there's a lot of reasons why people are flat earthers, and kind of just a little bit of a check with that. Then the guy says, I mean, his thought, and the guy Real Cygnus says that, he proves that conspiracies is just a never-ending circle. I mean, you can, I guess, say that, but did you never have any, just questions on stuff? I feel like yesterday's show with that Veritas guy really did show something crucial too. That's why I still think, I'm fine if you want to claim globe and everything. And I think you're probably fine with me staying flat. It's not a big deal for you.
Doesn't matter to me. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not. I don't even care. I think that, if people, the thing that upsets me is when people say we faked it or I'm lying or I've been paid off. It's just dumb. And it's really a slap in the face to think that people would do something like I've done for 10 years and then just take money and be like, okay, now I'll just go on the other side and screw everybody that I was friends with. It's just unrealistic.
I'd be a liar if I said that I didn't have that thought and everything, but honestly, think it through. Come on. I just know that I can at least know that I've checked you, just calling into your show, interacting with you. I feel like I've checked you enough in my book.
Right.
Everyone else hasn't, and everyone's not seeing everything. It's a weird time, and that's why I don't know. You were chatting with one guy about a video game that's something space related, right?
Kerbal, or there's another one that I guess he said I should use. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, and I mean, so still, everyone here that, thinks that everything works as that game does, I mean, I would totally be down to watch a stream of you pulling up that game and showing.
Yeah, that's what people say.
Really,
I mean,
I feel like there'd be questions right off the bat,
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Yeah, we'll have to look at that because I think that the Van Allen belts have something to do with us not being able to leave the Earth. But so I doubt that those are on the game, but maybe they are. I don't know. I haven't played it that far yet.
Yeah, who knows? I just know that I did even call in one time. I got one buddy still from high school. I got friends outside of this YouTube stuff and everything, but the guy's
I don't.
He's super space, super NASA and everything. And he was all into that game for a long time. And I just know he doesn't have any opinion. I should have him call into one of these speakers corner and say, hey, I was sent here by my friend. Like, I don't even know. I haven't even told him Tony Coriolis. He really wouldn't care. I tell some people in my life, but just, I don't know. I feel
So
like
you-
the
you-
fact that you even just said right there, you're not like mad at me.
No, not at
saying
all.
Flat. And like, I don't think you would be. Yeah.
No, I'm not mad at anybody. But everybody else had to throw me under the bus on their way out. That's the only problem.
And it is like sometimes you do say some stuff that is like, you know, like, oh, the flat earthers are nothing, they're wrong. And they've come up yesterday and everything, and I still watch that. And it's not like I'm expecting you to every single time. Well,
Wait,
it's
what-
just like a couple people, like
Oh,
Tony
I see what you're
Coriolis
saying.
is pretty cool. Like, I'm not expecting that. And I get that, you know, how could you say anything like that? Like, including all the people that you think are probably fine, you know, but there are just some bad ones out there. So I got you. You got to battle a lot of people, a lot more than I got.
Is it a lot?
I
Is it ugly out there, or what's your? Because I don't watch that stuff, but I know you're out there and you're getting the pulse. Am I a topic, or have I been dropped and they're not just saying my name now?
You've been dropped, honestly.
Good. Okay, that's good.
Just, no one's really still chatting about you too much. If you come up one time, it's from someone who, like, I don't even know this person's in the chat, just hollering about it, you know, or anything. Like, I think it's no big deal. And then there are still a bunch of people that are still stuck in the Vapegate era. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's lost.
That's just weird. And I don't know, that's gonna come to a crux at some point. I don't know. Come on back to, you know, how stuff goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to start your clock, so we'll have to pretend like it's ending. You have 30 seconds.
Totally good. I'm out here. I'm up out of town. And I've noticed you tease a couple times when, like, no one calls in off the bat. Well, this might be the last one. I know you're always pretty much joking. But, you know, maybe someday you will actually pull the trigger and no more speakers corner.
Well,
so
yeah,
I
I
will
mean-
call in and just speak with you.
Well, thank you.
I think there's no problems with that. Like, no, I don't know. It's not hurting me or anything. I just know, I don't know. Just, yeah. The VIP thing, I've talked to you a bunch over there, and really, I only talk to you, like, publicly. It's not like me and you have a phone call and, hey, man, what's up? I don't even want to do that. I like this speaker's corner. This is how me and you communicate, and we're still good. So thanks for having me on, Jaron.
Well, thank you for being a VIP. I do appreciate that.
I gotcha.
All
Yeah.
right. And thanks for putting. I want to put this. I'm going to play the video that you put in the chat today when you were talking about.
That was
Vika.
that,
I just had to play that one
Yeah,
part.
okay.
'Cause it's such good evidence.
Yeah. I gotcha. And really, what that is like, okay, if they are trying to take stuff head on, it can't just be a bunch of people kind of talking that Vapegate gatey nonsense. It
Right.
can't be that.
Right.
So
And that's what it is,
why I
right?
shared it over here, even though I do kind of like the Vika guy, but then the Vapegate stuff,
Yeah,
that's hard.
and they
I didn't
once they have
think
their
I
mind
could-
up, that's the problem, right? If you have this is the problem with confirmation bias. If you've already made the choice that we faked it, this is why you see Banjo and Vika just devolving into nothing, because it's not true, and they're just reaching, and it's just never going to amount to anything because we were there and we saw what we saw. So, all right, well, I
Yeah,
appreciate you being here.
when you ask me, are
Oh.
they still talking about you and stuff? I ain't watching all those people really. So,
Well, good.
okay,
Thank
I
you.
hear you.
All
I
right,
hear you.
later.
All right, peace.
All right, so let me show you this. He said earlier, but so Vika has some of the best evidence I've ever heard for why we know that Wolfie is not a pilot. So let's hear why we know that he's not a pilot. Oops, where's the play button? Here we go. Thank you, Vika, for your excellent research, by the way.
Right? For fuck's sake, guys. Yeah. All these guys who were coming to attack flat earthers, there are a few like this. This is one, and there are a couple on
Sorry.
You can see they're making shit up.
Oh, they're making shit up.
Exists. I totally agree with you, Will. Yeah, I've been asking for years to debate a flat Earth pilot, and they just always run away. You know, or very quickly during the conversation, I expose them as being complete frauds. Yeah.
So the first thing I want to cover is I hear this all the time.
Wait, where's
Flat
the-
Earthers claim that pilots on a flat Earth and not a globe, but I'm guessing nothing could be further from the truth.
That is completely incorrect. You know, I can remember very clearly going to my pilot theory courses in Sydney, Australia in the 80s.
I don't remember
and we
which
had
time
the
slot
globe
it
in
was.
the
I thought it was
classroom,
here.
And all our textbooks
Oh, I can check
show
it
the
here.
globe, the great circles, the calculations are based on spherical math for a globe Earth. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous to claim that pilots are trained.
Yeah, but he cannot forget something from the manuals that the curve is taken into account. Just because in the 80s he had those globe on his desk in his flying school,
Oh, sorry,
so it
30,
means
30.
the Earth is a globe, right?
Here we go. Now for the evidence that we know Wolfie's fake. Here we go.
Answering their questions, trying to convince them
This is great
that
evidence,
he was a
though.
real pilot. So we have this history in the flat Earth community of people lying about being pilots, and I think the only reason is because pilots know that we live on a globe.
Absolutely.
That's training is globe based. Their flight planning is globe
Go
based.
Vika.
All of it is. And so I also want to mention too. You mentioned Paul on the.
Hey, they're just putting in word out there. You know, it works on a globe. It can't really show anything from aviation. Shows that it's the curve is taken in down, right? Just putting some words together that it only works on a globe, right? And fake pilots. There are many pilots who cannot speak, right? And there are many in this last couple of years. TikTok is full of people, pilots, saying the truth. Just having this clown with a background of an aeroplane doesn't make him a pilot. Look at his face. This guy, you think he can fucking fly a plane?
Guys, come on, look at his face. Do you think that face can fly a plane? Flat Earth has some of the best researchers I've ever seen. Okay? And I never thought about this. Vika has dug deep into the annals of knowledge, and he's come to the conclusion that look at his face, he can't fly a plane. This is great research. So if that guy tells me the Earth is flat, why wouldn't I believe him? He also knows that this pilot isn't a pilot because look at his face. So that's good stuff. Way to go, Vika. I mean, you were on the cutting edge of research, really. I need to get back into it. I didn't know we could just look at people's faces and be like, this guy can't possibly fly a plane. Not with that face. Good stuff. Quality stuff. All right, let's see if we have anybody else. Yeah, we got Swallow GE in the house. Swallow.
G'day, the frog's gay.
The frogs are gay. That's true. Or they're turning into women or something.
That's it. Before I ask my question, I wanted to actually say that, you say you've been outcast by the flat Earth and you're no good to the science community, but you are that bridge in between, and I think that's a piece that you can rest on. So I think it is worth you being it.
Well, the problem with it is that that's the smallest niche that's ever existed. So
yeah, but it's the most it's a powerful one. It's more powerful than flat Earth, I believe.
Maybe, but I mean, there's no like I have to go back to working and that kind of thing, right? So there's because it's never going to be. I think the last two shows, I was at the end of the show. I said, "Hey, if you enjoyed this, send $1 Cash App." How much do you think I got? 2 shows.
I don't know, like $30. I don't know.
Zero. So
Zero. Okay.
Yeah, nobody even.
I'm sorry about that, man.
Well, it's not your fault, but I'm saying that's what happens if you have a flat Earth audience and you're catering to them. You'll get a bunch of donations. If you have a science audience and you're catering to them, you'll get a bunch of donations. But as soon as you say, "I don't think we went to the moon. I'm going to look into it," those people just dismiss you. Both sides, right? So that's why when I say might be coming to an end, that's what I mean. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, good luck trying to get a new job. I'm working myself, so yeah, good luck getting in there and get going. Anyway, my question was, and I'm beating Dave McKeegan at it, of course. And of course, you can reserve your opinions.
Sorry, can you say it one more
want,
time?
But,
can you say it one more time? Because I didn't hear what you said. You said something and then Dave McKeegan, but I didn't hear what you said before that.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to head off Dave McKeegan with one question.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't care whether or not, obviously, you believe moon landing is real or not. I don't care. But the meme that goes around where they say, that we lost the technology and we can't build it back or whatever like that.
Right.
Well, what's your current take on that? Because obviously we still have rockets flying around. We still have, technology which we use for, we've got computers, all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, because we have better technology. So I don't agree with the claim that we've lost the technology. It's the equivalent of like saying, okay, so if we needed to build a bunch of Game Boys, right? Well, we've got way better video games than a Game Boy, but maybe the factories, the stuff that we need to build Game Boys, we've destroyed that. It's because it's so old now. So I guess, still, you'd be able to build better and you'd be able to build more efficiently and you'd be able to build cheaper. So it's not a very good argument. I don't really understand the argument at all. Basically, I guess they're saying they've thrown away the moon landers and the command modules, and then to build all that back again is expensive. I guess that's what they're saying.
Yeah, no, you're spot on because, like in a lot of ways, most of the Saturn V was, I guess, ejected and sort of blew up in the atmosphere, all that sort of stuff. Whether or not it went to the moon or not, most of that sort of stuff fell into the atmosphere and was burnt up.
Right.
So there's not much left to have. Most of the construction is all destroyed.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's a good opinion to have.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they can get up in orbit now, and maybe I'm missing something, but the way they've described it is once you've gotten into orbit, which is very difficult, obviously, to fight against the gravity of the Earth, but once you're up there, then I would think you're just blasting off to be. So it needs to be precise. I'm not saying anything about the mathematics involved. You would need to be precise. You would need to launch at a particular time, but then you squirt your guns, you squirt your little RCS thrusters, you start heading that direction, and then they pull back all the thrusters, and the thing just floats there, and then slows down the whole way, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it needs to do its escape velocity, where I think it goes to about maybe 2/3 of the way, and the gravity of Earth is pulling back, and then it gets to a point, I think, where the moon starts to pull it.
Right.
And that's where they finish up, and then they have to do a burn to stop, to slow down.
Right. So yeah, I mean, to me, it just seems like I don't think there's a problem with asking to say go again, because they make it seem like it's this huge ordeal, and I get it, and they, of course, they don't do things to prove things to flat earthers. I get that, but I think that it would do a lot to silence NASA's critics, because if you ask most people who are NASA critics, they would point to the moon landing. So
agreed, and I want to say it as well. So it's good.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it, Swallow. Okay, Swallow. Everybody's been right on time today. 4 minutes is going well. Let me check out some super chats, see if we got any of those. They're always helpful. Where's the button for that? Oh, there it is. Okay, good. We got Dave's Waffle House. Very cool. $2 pounds. Dave, big ups to you. Always a great supporter of the channel. Rhino says, I've got an 11-inch CGX equatorial. No more dick talk, right? Please. Oh, no, you're talking about a telescope. CGX equatorial 1100 Schmidt Cassegrain telescope yesterday. When is the next rocket launch? Oh, wow. Let's look. That thing is dope. We're going to go Vandenberg launch. So far, they haven't had any that are... I've given up on going during the day because I don't ever see it. But I'm just going to keep going at night. Vandenberg. Oops, got to type in launch. CH. And we got Vandenberg launch schedule. Let's see when the next one is. I would love to see that because you got a perfect view from Monterey without having like a 3,000-foot mountain in the way. So we've got, see, that's during the day. That's 5:38. It's going to be still light out. Looks like there's one 11:13 a.m. on Saturday, and then the following Friday. Kind of spaced out now. Is there any coming up? Nope. Everything else is only projected to launch. No dates or times. So the next two are the 3rd at 11:13 a.m. and the 9th at 5:38 p.m. So there you go, Rhino. Thank you for telling us about your telescope. I wonder how much that is. An 11-inch equatorial 1100 11-inch. Okay, I can picture it. Thank you very much. Ken P. sent a Jeranism gifted membership, and he did it again. 2 gifted memberships. Thank you. Theodore Paul says, sorry you've never seen so much cope. Really? Yep. What do you mean? Sorry you've never seen so much cope. Really? Oh, just you should see the people. I mean, they're losing their minds. That. Well, I guess you mean like as far as the flat earth. So there's definitely more cope there if that's what you're trying to get at. No, I just mean that people should be open to inquiries like that, especially government operations. To me, it does you no good to protect the government. They don't need protection, and the truth doesn't really need protection. So when somebody questions an event, a government event, something like that, just to see the people who respond with, what they think is the reasons or the explanations, but they're just not very good, or they're just the opposite of what we're saying. Again, I mean, I get it, because I'm going to be the same way. If let's say I find out that we did go to the moon for whatever reason, and they go back or something, whatever, then I have to make then if somebody else says the moon landing's fake, then I'm going to say, no, well, let me get in, and I have to go in through the reason. So I get it, that those people maybe have dealt with the people before, and they're just giving some of that evidence. I can see why Joe Rogan went back, but then you can tell Joe Rogan still has questions. So it's one of those things that many people have questions, and it's because it's their word against ours. So it's not the same as, does something exist, or does, like, even the flat Earth and the South, like I was able to go check. They're not going to let me go to the moon and check, right? So the fact that we've got crafts that can be in orbit and that they can't get close enough to just fly by and show us the lunar rover and to show us because what they've shown us is a pixel change. And they say, oh, this is the lunar reconnaissance. And how far does that thing go? LRO height. I wonder what its height is above the moon. I think it's pretty far, isn't it? Let's see here. LRO is a NASA robotic spacecraft currently orbiting the moon. Data collected by where is it at? So it's launch mass, payload powered, launch date, launch site. What? So it's, what is periselene altitude? Oh, because that's the moon, the word for the moon. Great. So it goes between 12 miles and 103 miles. So 103 miles and 12 miles. And 12 miles is 60,000 feet. So it gets within 60,000 feet, which is way higher than... So, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Think about what they're saying then. 12,000... So it's way higher than any of us have ever been in a plane. And they're able to see the footprints of the astronauts? Get the fuck out of here. Wow, really? 60,000 feet high. And they're able to see the tracks. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I'm going to have to definitely ask that question tomorrow. Should be an interesting show. But that seems a little bit...
No one has ever done that! No one has ever done that in the history of Dota!
Thank you very much. Swallow, $10 Australian, Aussie dollars, says, Globers appreciate your work, dude. Yeah, I think so. They've been mostly nice. I should... do I want to read that one? I did get one message from a Glober recently. I was like, okay, guy, calm down now. Let's see if I find it. I might not have saved it. Maybe I did. Was it this one? No. I thought I saved it, but I might not have. Lovely picture of my wife. No, I don't see it. Anyway, they were not very pleased with me, and they basically... oh, wait, is this it? No. Is this it? Oh, these are just good. I'll just read some comments real quick. This is from a guy, Dylan1884. Says, Jaron, thank you. It took me more than a month, but I finally unsubbed from all the Flat Earth channels and removed myself from that corner of the internet. Folks, it's time to grow up and put away childish things. The world is still full of wonder and mystery. Go uncover those true mysteries. Your sanity and your relationships with those close to you will thank you for it. So that's very nice. We've got Mellow Soft. Mellow Soft says, hi, Jaron. The reason why I left the Flat Earth community is because of videos like Dave Weiss just released. In my eyes, you are a real truther and tried to do the right thing. Thank you. Freedom Paradox says, Big Jaron, you are as real can be. I regret to inform you that you were responsible for my nosedive into Flat Earth. It was hella fun, but I agree with you. The sun disproved the AE map, and there's no other FE map that is even hypothetically possible. So I have to eat my intellectual arrogance and admit that I was wrong since October 2015. I don't mind the journey. It was great. For me, you are the only interesting Flat Earther, and at the moment. Everyone else chickened out. I still follow Austin. I believe he will be true and eventually come around. There are still a lot of things to discover and debunk. Peace from Portugal. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's a bunch more. Could go through them, but thanks for upholding the truth, Jaron. Don't let the haters get you down. You've shattered a lot of illusions, and that's painful. Many will fight back. They are too stupid to know better. Rise above it. Truth will prevail. Anyway, let me see if... okay, I don't think... Oh, sorry. God, maybe I didn't save it. Should just be them and not me. Okay, not that one. Alright, well. It was basically just a message from a Glober that basically said something like, hey, I heard that you are questioning the moon landing. You know, is that true? If it is, you better watch out. You better not question the moon landing. And then they went crazy. That's, what's his name? Loser? Sorry. I mean, the cool guy. Everybody's cool. Alright, let's see. Nobody's back in here. I'll check the charts one more time. I just thought I could remember screenshotting it. but I don't see it. Sorry, I always get away from the mic. Piss people off. It's not this one? No. Oh, I was going to show something. What was I going to show that somebody said about that? Oh, yeah. That's a comment was where? I know where it is. I'll show you this comment. So that's from, I remember who sent it to me. Let me get it. This is a incorrect comment, but I just want to point it out. Come on, stop doing that. Whoever's doing that, stop it. Stop it. Okay, this one, okay. So this comment says, "Hey Jaron, I have always supported you as you know. For anyone confused of what's going on, let me explain. Jaron is being coerced into this change. Analyze his comments carefully. His facts are easily disproven. These are his breadcrumbs to let us know about the coercion. Need an example? The sun sets right to left in the south. Tell that to people in Australia who live north of the Tropic of Capricorn. Plenty of sunsets left to right, above the Tropic of Capricorn in the south. These are obvious facts that Jaron knows intricately. Jaron, feel free to email me if you want some support, buddy. I feel for you." So that's just false, and this is what they have to claim. They have to claim that that's what's going on. And his claim about the South is false. And that's why when you see things like this, it should tell you something. That I've been telling you something so simple that I didn't know about. I can admit that I never was told this, that I wish I was because it's huge. And that is that, why can I never find freaking Google Earth? There you are. Everybody in the South, and I mean everybody, every day of every year, sees the sun set right to left when looking west. Now, if you tell this to a flat earther, they will 100% return and say to you, "Oh, but it's just perspective. If I look north and they're looking south," it's like, shut up. Nobody said that. Let's start over. I said, when two people are looking west, which means that they're looking in the same direction now, right? So now forget about relative. It's not. Left is absolute. Right is absolute. Everybody in the south sees the sun set right to left. Everybody in the north sees the sun set left to right. And everybody at the equator sees it go right above their head. Let me explain why. Oh, you can't really see that very well. Let's zoom out from this ball. Let's just go full screen. It's easier. Which one? Browser solo? There we go. All right, so watch this, because this is incredible. And it's like, how did we never see this, or why did we never see this? Okay, so look at the ball this way. Okay, if you are on the center of the ball, the sunrise goes straight above your head and down. 90 degrees, 270. That's what the sun does. If you are on this side of the ball, notice that you're leaning left to right. Well, we'll kind of leave it like this for now. Okay, so these people are leaning left to right on the ball. And guess what? They see the sun go left to right when it rises, left to right when it sets. Everybody in the north. And guess what? As soon as you cross this line to the other side, now you're leaning the other way. And guess what? Everybody in the south sees the sun go that way, leaning right to left. End of story. There is no answer or anything for that on a flat earth, and there never will be. There's no reason on a flat earth that crossing the equator would cause you to change the direction of the sun. Think about it. And I've been trying to get people to think, let's say you're flying in an airplane, and we get in an airplane and we're chasing the sun. On a flat earth, which way would we turn? To the right. Would we ever change? No. It doesn't matter if you're in the south or if you're in the north. If you're following the sun, you're going to always be turning to the right. That's the way the sun goes, right? So, but on the actual earth, on the real earth where we live, if you're going to follow the sun in the south, you've got to turn to the left. You've got to turn to the left to follow the sun. That's the direction that the Tropic of Capricorn goes. If you look here, it's turning to the left. Okay, that's on the flat earth, it has to turn to the right. It has to go right, because Australia is, I know this is not a flat earth map, but a picture of a flat earth map here, and you would have the United States, South America, and then Australia would be over here. So as the sun is going this way to set, everybody would see it set left to right. No matter where you are, the sun sets left to right, left to right, left to right. So here's the paradox for a flat earth. On a flat earth, people in the north see the sun. If they're watching the sunset, let's go to the actual location here. So let's say I'm on the coast of California here, and I'm watching the sunset. So remember that there's not a place. Let me actually change my location, because I want to go to a place where there's somewhere equally south. So there isn't. Come on. Get away from the ball, damn it. Okay, let me see. Is there anywhere equally south? Yeah, so we'll say up here and then down here in south somewhere. So we're going to look right here where this line is. Okay, so I don't know what state that is, somewhere east coast. Okay, so right here, let's go right where this is. So let's say this person's watching the sunset looking west. Okay. So they see the sun. Come on, get up there. You can see that okay? All right. So if they're up there watching the sun, again, remember they're leaning left to right, so we know that they're going to always see the sun do left to right. Here it comes. So there's left to right. That's the way the sun goes, left to right. Okay. So this is the paradox on a flat Earth. Okay, on a flat Earth, how could two people looking in the same direction? So we just went from here, which is what, latitude 68.3. We're going to take ourselves down to the south. Okay, so two people are looking in the same direction at the same time because both these people are going to see the sunset at the same time. Sorry, that's going to take forever. Get there faster. 68.3 is where we were. 68.3. Let's go. Oh, that's good. Okay, so now down here in the South America, so 68.3 is where to go. 67, 68 point, somewhere here. Okay, so 68.3. So now if we're here, looking west, remember this would be the same sunset. You're watching the same sunset. Okay, let's get up and watch the sunset, and it goes for them right to left. Let's turn a little bit so you can see it better. There you go. So how in the hell is that possible? Think of what we just saw. Two people on the Earth looking the same direction. They're both looking west. And for both them, the sun goes opposite directions. On a flat Earth, you'll never explain it, and it creates a paradox. On a globe Earth, it is a feature of living on a globe. If you're living on a globe, the people in the south who are leaning one direction would see the sun do a completely different motion in the sky than the people in the north who are leaning the other direction. And then, of course, if you're at the equator, you would just see the sun pretty much all year. I think that they're pretty close to 12-hour day, 12-hour night, pretty much the whole year, because it's just not going to vary much. So now let's prove what that guy said wrong real quick. So he said, Jaron is lying to you on purpose so that you can see the breadcrumbs. And he said, because ask people in Australia during their summer who are above the Tropic of Capricorn. So here, that's not Australia, genius. Okay, so here's Australia above the Tropic of Capricorn. Let's go way up high here. And he says that these people see the sun move left to right. Now, I know, here's the predictive model, is I know it's not true. How do I know it? Because they're in the south. And how would they see the sun go that direction? So let's go down here. And these people, he says, see the sun set, what did he say? Left to right. So let's get up here. Let's turn a little bit north since it's their summer. And let's see which way it goes. Oops. Come on. Where did it go? Come on. Where you at? What the hell's going on? There we go. So it sets right to left. What do you know? The guy is wrong. Thank you so much for telling everybody in my comments that I'm lying to them on purpose. No. This is the way that the sun operates in the south. So this is huge. So he's saying, oh, Jaron's telling you easily debunkable things. It sounds debunkable. It sounds wrong because it's so fucking simple. It's been right in front of us the whole time. You don't need government. You don't need NASA. You don't need teachers. You don't need military. You don't need any kind of authority. You need your eyeballs and the fucking sun. That's it. And it tells you where you live. And guess what? You could drop me tomorrow anywhere on the earth. And by midnight, I'd be able to tell you what latitude line I'm on and exactly where I'm at on the globe. That is amazing. How can that not be impressive? That's because the earth has been mapped correctly on a sphere. It'll never be flat. Imagine if it was flat Earth took over. The very first question somebody would ask is, wait a second, how come I see the sun go right to left? And guess what flat Earth would say? No answer. See the difference between a globe that no matter what you see, it's a actual product of living on a globe. That's the proof. But people want to not, see that. And I get it. They're closed off to it. They don't trust me. But it's so simple, and you can go and verify this tomorrow. You can go anytime. I think it's best to go to Punta Arenas in the dead of their summer. So somewhere around December 14th. You could probably go down there for $1,500 if you find a flight and book it now. And what you'll see when you get down there, let's go over here. Oh, that's not it. Here. So when you're in South America at Punta Arenas, again, $1,500, and you're going to know the shape of the earth. How come? I'll show you. Because if we turn around here and look west, and we go to December, we're going to change this date to December. That's come on, that's not fast enough. There we go. Let's go to December. That's December 12th, 13th, 18th, somewhere in there. Okay, let's go back this way. There. Okay, so when you see this, oops, let's go to this one here, 12, 13, 14, what? Okay, I think that's right. Okay, so when you see this, here comes this. Look at the sun. It's so freaking drastic. Look at that. It's right to left. Think about it. It's on a flat Earth. That sun needs to be going to the right. Australia is way the fuck over there. Do you know what's over there on the left side on a flat Earth? Antarctica. Antarctica's over there, the end of the world. So what is the sun doing going the wrong way behind Antarctica? And this is what we saw that night. We turned around and said, what the hell? Is that the sunlight? Just transferred, it's barely under the ground for a little bit. And then here it comes. And when I saw that, it all made sense to me. I said, oh shit, I get how the sun works now. Now I get it. And now I understand where over here, the reason why the sun is why it's noon for Australia right here is because the sun is shining above Australia's head on the other end of this ball, on the other side. The flat earth will never, ever in a million years explain anything that is seen in the real world. And so that's why it's embarrassing and that's why it's frustrating to see, because they're just believing in something, because I get it. I was a believer too. They think we're lied to about everything, so we're probably lied to about the shape of the earth. And I've now come to the conclusion that the one thing you could never do is lie about the shape of the earth. You would need every human being to be blind, because think about it. Once you've placed us on this ball, then everywhere you go and look at the sky, it has to match the ball model. If it doesn't, you don't live there. And unfortunately, nobody's ever debunked Google Earth. Not one person has ever said, hey, when I go to my location here, that I'm not, the sun says it's setting right to left. Oops, that was real good. Go this way. The sun says it's setting, what is going on? There. The sun says it's setting right to left, but I see it go left to right. It's not true. It's never happened, because we're looking dead south. So then you go here, and again, here's the sun. So once you see that, it's a no-brainer. People in the south see the sun go right to left. People in the north see it go left to right. Has nothing to do with looking north and they're looking south. That may happen, and that may be the reason, but think about it. Whatever way the sun is going is the direction it's going. So what I mean by that is, let's say you are south looking north. Okay, well, the sun is going left because it's going to the west. And then if you say, well, that guy can go to the north now and look south, right, and then he's going to see it going where? Right, because that's where the sun's going. So those are opposite because you're facing each other. Now, if you both are looking west, which way does the sun go? It has to go to the right. But the people in the north see it go to the right. The people in the south see it go to the left. But there's no answer for that. There never will be, because it's a feature of being on the sphere. And so shout out to the people that mapped it. Shout out to the people who did this before us, because we were actually handed something glorious and we shit on it. And we kicked it around and called it nonsense and said it's bullshit. But people actually went out and risked their lives to map the earth as a sphere. And they did correctly, right? You can call a friend and ask them to go verify the sunrise and sunset. You can call a friend in any country and say, hey, go verify this for me tonight. Go verify that if you go 69 miles north, the North Star goes up by 1 degree. You can do that, and then will you realize that how many people will you need to tell you that the globe Earth matches their location until you realize it obviously matches everywhere, right? So I didn't believe that it matched in the South. I thought that the South was spanned out, not came back in. And I found out the hard way that that's not true. One other thing that is one of the best proofs, and Flat Earth will never talk about this, so you don't see anybody talking about this. You won't hear it talked about because it's killer. So if we go to somewhere, let's say down, can we get some light over here? Can't see a damn thing. Okay, so let's say here South America, okay? So if we go down to this right here, which is the 50 degree south marker, 50 degrees, okay, and we're just trying to measure the one line of longitude this way. So let's get down to we see one line at a time. We've got 60, no, stop with all the decimals. Can't we just get a real number? Hello. He's being dumb. Give me a real number. That's good enough. Now we can see. 69,725. Where's 70? Oh, we gotta move back a little bit. 70.05. Still not enough. 70.3. 69.3. Okay, here we go. So we're taking 69.3, which is this line here, and measuring 69.3 to 70.3. Okay, so there's our one line of longitude, and 1 degree, sorry, not one line. 1 degree is 44.81 miles. Okay, so now what do you think? If we went down there and we were to drive that distance, do you think that we would see something fairly close to that? I believe we would. I do not think there's a chance. Could it be 3 miles off? Maybe. But is there more than that? No, probably not. So let's say, what did we say? 644.81 miles. Okay, so we're going to save that. That's our line there. So now if we wanted to figure out what that distance is on a flat Earth, we would take the distance from there to the North Pole, Hello. I hate these things. Why do you have to always hit this button first? All right, so path line. Okay, good. So now we're going to take it from that location to the North Pole, because that'll tell us the radius of the circle on the flat Earth of that location. Okay, so we're going to go up to the North Pole. So that distance is 9,637. So 9,637. And that's going to be 2 pi r, which is going to be times 6.28. Okay, so we're going to go calculadora. Move this over here for you to see. Come on. And that is 9,637 times 6.28, which is 2 pi, right? So we get 60,520. So if you picture a flat Earth, if that was the edge of the flat Earth, it'd be 60,000 miles, 520, 36. Okay, whatever. It was 60,520. So if we divide that by 360, we'll get the distance between each degree, right? Makes sense? So we're going to divide that by 360, and we get a 168. So if you believe in the flat Earth, you believe that this line that we just drew down here, move out of the freaking way. So this line that we just drew down here, that we said we measured, and it was 40-something, 44.8 miles, is actually 168 miles. Does that seem possible to you? So they've been lying to the world for all these years, and they somehow hid the fact that in the entire South, here at this degree marker, that locations that say on the maps that they're 48 miles are actually 168, 3 times, almost 4 times that distance. It's absurd. And then people say, well, couldn't they hide it in the water and then they just make these correct? Sure, but now you're talking about if this is 4 times the distance and this is 4 times the distance, then you have to make that up in the water, which means now this is 8 times the distance that you think. Imagine how quickly that would be discovered, how quickly that would be exposed. Okay, and you can even go further and it gets more ridiculous. If you go even further, let's say you're down here in Antarctica where we were, 80 degrees south, let's go down here. Union Glacier's there. Let's go even further just for fun. Let's say we go to 84 south, around here, and we're looking for 82. Let me get way lower. We'll go 80. I just saw it. 82 to 83. So we're going here to here. Stop it. Okay, so 82 to 83 on this degree of is 8.73 miles. Okay, 8.73 is what it is on the globe. Remember, it's converging back to the South Pole. So let's find out what that is on a flat Earth, and you tell me if you think this makes any sense. So we already can see that the flat Earth expands Antarctica to a huge amount. It now covers the entire circumference of the Earth, right? So if we take this distance to the North Pole, and again, this is okay to do because the AE map is a equidistant, meaning it's equidistant from the north. Okay, so we've got 11,909. So we're going to multiply that, save. Thank you. 11,909. Where's the calculator? Did I put it away? There it is. 11,909 times 6.28 equals 74,788 divided by 360 equals 207. So, it's not that big of a difference. It's just if we went down there and measured it, would it be 8 miles or 207? It's insane. It's insane that I ever believe this bullshit. It's impossible. So basically what they're saying is if we went down here and we got down here and measured this distance, that it wouldn't be 8 miles. We would measure this distance and it would be 207. So that's another reason that you just know that the Earth is not a flat plane. It is a sphere that converges back down to the bottom. And lastly, what I'll say is one of the incredible things about the sphere is that it makes predictions that you'll never see on a flat Earth. So let's say we just find a random spot down here. Let's say, where is he? So this is 20. Let's go to 25. It's a good number. So we're at 25 south here. And if we look at the sunset, and just to make it easy, I'm going to go, oops, let's get down a little bit more. So there's us on the 25 line. And we're going to go up here. Okay. And if we were to watch the sunset on December 21st, that's the 19th, 20th. Okay, so here's the sunset on the 21st, okay? Where'd you go, son? Okay, there. Okay, so we watch which way it's setting, and you kind of look at this, and you see what we're seeing here, and the way, the angle that it's at, you see how it's coming down? If we wanted to measure it, we can. I got lucky and did this right the other day. I don't know if I'll do it right again. We'll try. So if I split the sun and the horizon right about there, and I try and run a line there. Where's my line tool? Okay, so we're just running a line from here where we are to move to the right center of the sun. Okay, so that shows us 242 degrees. And that was on December 21st. Let me write this down. December 21st, what did I say? 168 degrees? 242, sorry. 242 degrees. Okay, so 6 months later, so when we now go to June, so this is the predictive model, meaning that now I know that that is the angle, to the opposite angle, to the sun 6 months later. Oh, my earphone fell out. Hold on. Okay. So if we go to, we're going to get back here. We're going to 25 north now. Okay, let's back all the way out. And again, I could see what flat earthers would be thinking. They're like, oh no, this is just mathematical and it's not. But you can go verify. Do you understand? You can go and check and verify and make sure that all these things match, and then you'll realize, oh, well, they've got it mapped, and there's a reason why. It's because it predicts everything that we see. Therefore, we live on a sphere. Okay, so we're moving up here. We're at 25 north now. I lost my line. Is that it right there? Yeah. Okay, so we're now at 25 north, and we're going to get looking this way. Go back this way. Okay, so now we're going to June, minus, June. We'll go June 21st. Go back a little bit. Just one. June 20th. Good enough. We'll go back this way. And we are going to go to the sunset. Let's go this way. Okay, so now we're watching a sunset here. Eventually, there it is. Okay, so that is the complete opposite. It's the opposite and inverse of where we just were. I don't see our line. Was it here? Well, I don't know if we're going to get this right or not, but we'll try it. So that's kind of splitting the sun there. That comes out to 297. So if you think about it, so we got 297 and 242. And 297 would be how much off of 360? It would be 63 degrees away from the dead north. And then the south would be, so what did we say? It was 242. And the south would be 180. And it's 62 off the south. See? Oh, wait. 62 off of 180. 62 plus 180 would be 62 would be 242. That's right then. Okay. I keep getting shocked when it comes out right. I would expect to be a couple degrees off. But so again, it's the identical opposites. How could that be possible? Clearly we know where we live based off of just that. That you can predict, you know what's going to happen 6 months later on the opposite side of the earth because the sun just does the same thing 6 months later. It's actually pretty brilliant. So that just tells you that, you know, like down where I was talking about in Punta Arenas, watching the sun. Remember we watched the sun set and I said how drastic it was? And that was at 53 degrees south. So if we went to 53 degrees north, which I just learned recently, you know what I was telling everybody? I told everybody when I was down south, hey, I'm further south right now when we were in Punta Arenas than I've ever been north. And I did not know that I was technically, well, I haven't looked at which one's further, but I totally forgot that I was in Edmonton and I didn't even know it was that far north. Edmonton is also at 53, if I believe right. Let me see. Edmonton. But when I was there, just to say something, was when they had those huge fires, and so we couldn't see anything. The whole sky was orange. We had to get kicked out of the hotel because the wind blew all the smoke into the windows. So Edmonton is at 53 and a half. I don't know what Punta Arenas is. I don't know which. I've been further. Well, obviously going to Antarctica, I've now eclipsed that thing. So from here, now if we go down here, remember we're now at June 21st. So when we look at the sunset, it's going to be identical to what we just saw, only opposite. So we know it's going to be going this way. We can start pulling this way and look at it's the same thing. Go play with my video that I just did, rewind it and marry these on top of each other and you'll be like, oh, it's identical, right? We were just happened to be lower over there. But then you come over this way. Remember I said the light was going by. It's just the opposite. It just goes the opposite way. That will never be the case on a flat earth. End of story. Game over. Nice try, but you lose. You lose. Good day, sir. Okay? It's just the way it goes. That wasn't me, by the way. That was a sound effect. That sounded like me. Discard. All right, let's see. Nobody else is coming? All right, let me check one more time over here, and we may be calling it quits, which is good. More time to spend doing what I like to do. Let's just say that. All right, we got to go with, what are we looking at? Oh, yeah, this response chart for Speaker's Corner. So nobody came to talk. All these people, all this hate, all the Facebook people that love to go in there and just mouth off. Fucking pussies. All of you. Not impressed. Not impressed even a little bit. Let me see if there's anything here. Flat earthers be like,
I won't change my mind on anything, regardless of the facts that are set out before me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And for me, I don't know.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
Very tired of it. All right, and oh wait, we got enough down here. Are you sure you know enough physics and engineering to understand the evidence well enough to make a solid choice about the evidence? Nope. I don't think that that's the case. So we should just defer to everybody that that we think has those skills, even though they might have been indoctrinated in another belief. Again, these are the people that are crazy to me. I mean, this man must just give everything over to whatever organization says they know more than him, which is just embarrassing to me. I think you should be your own person. Now, again, if that's what you've chosen to do, good for you. But I'm not going to go into your chat and be giving you a hard time about it. Like, I just am me. And I like me, and I don't want to be somebody that's just like, okay, let's give up on ever looking into things and just de facto whatever they say is correct. Give me more shots, give me more vaccines for my babies, because people who have been paid to give the vaccines, they, the medical industry that gets money when you're sick, they definitely want to make my child not sick. I mean, it makes so much sense. It's just like mechanics. They want to make sure that, their car just is always running great. They don't want anything to go wrong with it. They would make money if they did that. So, it'd be weird. So Big Pharma, I'm sure they sit around and they say, how do we make people well so they don't need our medicine anymore, so we can put ourselves, Bayer, Merck, all these places, they want to go out of business. That's their whole goal. The whole goal of being in that industry is to get out of business, because you want to make, it's like Oreo. Oreo is going to come out with a cookie pretty soon that's going to make people not want cookies. That's a great business model. Let's make a cookie that people don't want cookies. All right. And then they put it out there, and then people eat it, and they're like, I don't like cookies anymore. And then Oreo goes out of business. So that must be what happens, I guess. Let me go to here. I think we're good. Is that it? What did I say? I was going to do something? So we proved that guy wrong who said that in the South, people see the sun set left to right. Wrong. They don't. Now, he thinks that because he's a flat earther. Do you understand that? Do you understand that when you're a flat earther, and you're thinking inside of the Tropic of Capricorn, the sun must go to the right, because that's how flat earth works. And look what we just did. We showed him why his flat earth is nonsensical. All right, we've got the know something? I don't know what that is.
This is the EXO, Jaron. We've talked a couple times.
What's up, EXO?
Yeah, you can take the guy out of the flat earth. Go ahead, man.
What is the Hebrew there?
The Hebrew is Ha'amrami.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Yes.
That's the first time you've asked. I've been here a few times, and now you're finally curious. Okay.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah, hopefully Witsit gets better. Go ahead.
Why? What's up with Witsit? What do you mean? Is he sick?
I'm not really sure. He hasn't contacted me. There's something going on. I've known him for many years, and I don't want to say things out in public. I'm going to give him more time, but clearly he's under some problems that are serious.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
God bless him, and I hope he gets better. And he can contact me anytime. I don't want to talk about those things in public. Anyway, God bless him, and I hope he gets better. But as I was saying, Jaron, you can take the guy out of the flat earth, but sometimes you can't take the flat earth out of the guy.
True.
I'm with you on a lot of these events. I think you're still relapsing because of the hate, and that's what this is about, the content of people's character. They couldn't accept what happened. They weren't about the truth. If they were about the truth, these things wouldn't bother them. But again, I'm the Bible guy. So when people start insulting the Bible, then I got to go, wait a minute, why is this happening? Like, I know you don't believe the Bible, Jaron, but the Bible doesn't say these things that I keep hearing from people, which again proves that the flat earth is not pro-Bible. You were around these flat earthers for 10 years, and you have no idea what the Bible said, because not a single flat earther gave you the gospel or showed you what the Bible said, or if they did, they were dead wrong.
I don't need men to tell me what the Bible says. I can read.
Okay, well, you said that the Bible said that Jesus said that the God of the Old Testament was not really God.
I never said that.
The Bible says.
I never said that. I
Oh,
said
okay,
that's
then
my.
I misunderstood you.
Yeah, I
Thank
said
you for
that.
correcting me. Okay, I misunderstood you. Go ahead.
I said that's my opinion. My opinion is that they killed him for doing that because Jesus recognized that the kingdom of God is within you. He said that no man has ever seen God's face or heard his voice. Guess what? Everybody in the Old Testament did. He was leading people around. He was seeing Moses like his face-to-face, like a friend. He walked with Enoch. So Jesus isn't talking.
That's explained. Yes, that's explained, though, because that's why it says in Colossians 1:16-15, it says he is the visible of the invisible, the icon of the invisible God, meaning you can see God when he comes down in his man form, but that doesn't mean you've seen God in all of his power. If you saw God in all of his power, you'd be destroyed. And I understand that might be a little bit weird at first, but yeah, God is so powerful, no man has ever seen him. There's no contradiction there. Not only did Jesus say
what about heard his
that
voice?
he agreed. Go ahead, yeah, go ahead, say it again.
What about heard his voice?
Yes, you can hear God speak when he actually spoke to like Isaiah and Moses and people like that. Yes, they did hear them. It doesn't mean they heard all. That's why it says that his voice is like rushing waters, the Ma'im. There's no contradiction. Let me just point this out, that not only does Jesus agree with the scriptures of the Tanakh and the Law in the Old Testament, Jesus declares himself Yod He Vav He El Shaddai Baruch Hashem Adonai Elohim. He declares himself God and the Father several times. I'm just pointing this out, though, that we would have to address that first, which is something that the...
So
Go ahead.
Don't we need to address that if there's just words on paper that it can be taken any way you want? It is truly it's truly a man's
go ahead.
It's man's interpretation, because that's all that there is on earth. There is no gods here. So whatever man reads the Bible as is what the Bible says. So you can make
No, that's true. No, that's true. But my point is, in the plain text scripture, when Philip asks Jesus, show us the Father, and Jesus says, I've been right here this whole time, you don't see me, you would have to say in a court of law, this man is addressing himself as the literal necessary antecedent of being the Father. If a man is asking to see the Father and Jesus says, I'm right here, you would have to admit that Jesus is saying, I am he who you're asking for,
so
in a court of law.
So who is Jesus praying to in the garden?
You don't think... Okay, so here's the point. Jesus is God. You don't think God can pray to himself? First question. So let's say God makes... Okay, so God makes heaven and earth, Jaron. So you got me in a tough question. I hear this all the time. God makes heaven and earth, but he wants to experience his own creation as a man. Who's he going to pray to, Jaron?
What do you mean?
Who else is he going to pray to? If he wants to experience himself, his creation as a man and as a follower of the Creator in his own creation, who is he supposed to pray to? He's only got one option. He prays to God, the Father. He is God the Son. God can do things that we can't, Jaron. We can't put God in a bottle and say, oh, God has to be limited to our capabilities. Listen, I can talk to myself. I don't think that's a big deal if Yod He Vav He El Shaddai wants to talk to himself because he wants to experience his creation. But at least you're a good sport, and you didn't hang up on me like other flat earthers. You would have hung up on me by now, so God bless you for that.
No.
Maybe we'll talk again in the future.
Okay, well, I appreciate the call, and I get it. But yeah, I never said that the Bible says that. I don't think the Bible says that. But I think that there's clues in there that maybe that is what happened. Let me ask you one more.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So why is it that in the Old Testament, a guy's walking around picking up sticks, the guys go and tell God, hey, this guy's picking up sticks, and God says, stone him to death? And then...
Woo! That did happen. Now check... Yeah, that happened. Okay, so wait a minute. One question at a time.
Hold on.
Wait.
I wasn't done. That wasn't a question. That was a statement. Now, in the New Testament, Jesus is actually working on the Sabbath. He's picking wheat. And the Pharisees come by and say, hey, what are you doing? So God should have killed Jesus at that point, but he didn't. God said, or Jesus said, that Sabbath wasn't made for man. Man wasn't made for the Sabbath, but the Sabbath made for man. That cannot be the same God who killed somebody in the Old Testament.
Oh, on the contrary, you must realize that when those people were in the desert as they were wandering, which is an interesting word, we don't have time for that. When you see God perform miracles and God comes down to your tribe and says, don't do this right now, directly to the people, and those people break the law directly given to them by the pillar of fire by night and the cloud by day, yes, there's going to be repercussions. That didn't happen in the New Testament. God didn't come down and say, don't do this, or else you're going to be in big trouble. Those Pharisees attacked Jesus because they were haters. They were trying to exalt themselves, and it's a completely different scenario. God didn't follow around Jesus that way, so they're not even comparable.
Well, the Pharisees knew only the Old Testament, right? So if the Old Testament says that God came down and killed somebody for working on a Sunday, then they have every right to ask Jesus, what the hell are you doing working on a Sunday? in the book that
Monday
we
to
read
Sunday.
and teach. Saturday.
That's not what he was doing.
Saturday.
That's not what he was doing. Right. Okay, we'll say Shabbat. We'll say Sabbath. That's not what he was doing, though.
What was he
Jesus said, if a cow falls into a hole and it's going to die on the Sabbath, are we to let it die? That's not work. That's the point. It's not work. When you're doing frivolous work directly against the word of God, that's serious. When you're living in a tribe wandering through the desert, Jaron, and you've seen the miracles of God, you're going to behave a certain way. When God wants to come down and show people how to do things himself, and it's not going against the word of God, I'm sorry, but he's not going against the word of God. His word did not go against the actions of Jesus. Jesus fulfilled the law.
Okay, well, thanks for the call. I do appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you later, Jaron. Thanks. Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem, or whatever that means. But I probably just said, like, praise the Jews of all time or something. I don't know what I said. All right, we got a couple last super chats here. We've got Adrian Malta says, guess what? Moses, Isaiah, and the rest saw Jesus. Moses? That was Jesus that they saw. So Jesus said, no man has ever seen God. He was saying they've seen me. And then, okay, is that what you're saying? The only Christians are Eastern Orthodox Christians. You are strawmanning Christianity. How am I strawmanning Christianity? This is the problem. Is it because you have a different interpretation of words on a paper doesn't make you right? Doesn't make you right. It doesn't matter how many men in the world interpret the Bible the way you do. Doesn't make you right. That's the way that I know that God didn't write it. God would not leave his word in paper written by men, and the book says, let God be true and every man be a liar. And then God's like, who should we give this book to? Man? Yeah, good idea. Give it to man. They'll keep it. Well, God, you said every man was a liar. Yeah, so they lie a little bit in the book. I mean, what are you going to do? It's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous belief that you guys have adopted. Dan, you might be the last one. Go ahead.
Hey, Jaron, can you hear me?
I hear you great.
Wow, I literally just set this up. You might know me from my YouTube name, Galaxy Soup. I don't know if you're familiar.
I've seen it a couple times.
Anyway, it's nice to meet you. And I just
You
wanted
too.
to congratulate you on, your turn, and you've been like really, it's just really not only kind of amazing to watch, just the resiliency of trying to put up with the entire community, but you have a kind of a breadth of knowledge, and you really have kind of a scientific way of thinking, which is pretty impressive. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about, and you're probably sick of death of all this moon landing stuff, but I'm what you would call, I'm 61, and I saw the moon landing when I think I was 6 years old, or whatever, I was 6 or 7 years old. I saw it, and I was a true believer. That was it for me. It got me onto the path of like interest in science and other things, and just really a big space fan, big sci-fi fan, and I think I would. All up. I never questioned any of it. Just hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
Everything, and I believe everything. I believe they landed on the moon.
You mean
I
still?
I really don't think they faked anything.
Yeah,
So
and I just want to say real quick that I do. Yeah. If that is the case too, then I understand why boomers are the way they are. Like, that is super beyond impressive. If that's what they did 50 years ago, and the country came together and they put all this money in there, and then they went to the moon and they had no problems. They're driving around sending data back. If that did happen, then I'm extremely in envy. I don't know, in awe of what they've done. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was just an amazing time. It was a time of a lot of. Now, granted, I was just a little kid, but when I got older, I think the last mission was 1972.
Correct.
Apollo 17, I think was the last one.
Yeah.
At that point, I was a little bit older, and I really, you would watch these things with bated breath, and there was we knew all the announcers' names, and it was just a whole thing. But anyway, watching you and everything, and talking about different conspiracies and looking at different bits of evidence and whatnot. Out of curiosity, I started searching for, the archival stuff that they have, and I found a bunch of stuff. It's like I'm still kind of in the process of researching, because I got lost the other day for literally hours looking at hundreds and hundreds of images. And so I'm a big sci-fi fan. I already mentioned that, and I have a very keen eye with special effects. I always have, and ever since I was a little kid. I know a lot about photography. I'm an astrophotographer. I know a lot about cameras. I know how a lot of special effects were performed before the days of CGI. So I was asking myself, I was looking at these photographs, one after the other, just clicking through. And this is stuff you can tell even when you're looking at the photo that some of them, there's like bits of the photo, like before you even get to the next one, you can see from the negative that the next one's going to pop up.
Right.
So you can tell, and you look at the numbers of the photos because they're like set up in what they call magazines, I guess.
Yeah, like AS17 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah. So they go sequentially. So I'm watching, and even just looking at the photos, some of them are just garbage. And I'm like, first of all, if they faked it, why would they have a lot of garbage photos? Like a lot of stuff was like out of focus. And sequentially, you can see like someone who was like in a window, trying to take a picture of the moon. It like screwed up. Then 2 seconds later, they try to take another picture. It's out of position. It's somewhere else. So you can see like someone's trying to get the shot, right? You can kind of see it as you go through if it's sequential. But then I'm asking myself, what would it take, like literally, if you really think about it, I'm trying to figure out, like the best bit of that we have in that time for special effects was Stanley Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey.
Agree.
And even as good as that is, if you really look, none of it looks anything like the moon landing or anything like the stage separations, any of the footage of the Earth from space or the moon from space or from the launch vehicles. None of it looks anything like that. It still looks cheesy when you compare the consistency of what everything looks like. And consistency meaning from like 1 year to the next year, from one Apollo mission, like even from Mercury to Apollo, there's a consistency with the way the sun hits like metal in space or the way the shadows look. And I know there's a whole bunch of nonsense about the shadows.
I don't really know that much.
I'm trying to just ask myself, what kind of technology for that day would be required to take thousands and thousands of images with such like forethought of the categorizing everything correctly, everything being archived.
Well, it would be no different than actually going on the trip, right? Like
I would feel it could in some ways be more difficult to do that. You'd have to set up studios with many photographers, model builders, people that were experts in like.
But they've done that,
angles.
right? We can find that there's photos of them with the model builders. They had a whole machine shop there where they're building miniatures. And then the other thing is the so have you seen the Apollo 17? Did you look at that? Did you find the site that's called Apollo in Real Time?
It was up. It's been up for a while, right?
Yeah. It's just incredible because it actually goes through the whole mission. But I mean, one of the weird things about that is like, I was going through that recently, and when you get to the landing, is like everything stops, right? Like there's no more pictures. And then they land, and then the cameras come back on. Again, it's because I guess they were busy landing, so they couldn't have the camera on. I don't know what the reason is, but that would be a moment that I would think you would have video of. They don't have video of that. And then, so you think that all the pictures, or were you on Flickr in the archives there? Or
I
were
was
you
on Flickr. Yeah, some guy
pretty
has
big,
like a pretty intense account.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty. There's a lot of those photos. So I definitely think that is probably the best evidence. What you just said, the best evidence that the moon has is the quantity of pictures, the quality of some of them. How they seem to work out to where a person should have been at that time. I don't think anybody's ever found any kind of flaw in the timeline. Like, oh, this guy was taking pictures over there, but we see him over here. It would have to be
until you skip to another magazine or something,
Right, but if you stay within a magazine, it makes sense. It's all in sequential order. It seems to be correct.
I think so. I mean, that's what I kind of just started doing it, but there's a lot of things I want to look at too, like going forward. But yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah. So I'm definitely open to being wrong. I want to talk to McKeegan about it. I think that the way he described things in Antarctica was really great. He doesn't get upset. He doesn't get frustrated. He kind of talks you off the ledge when you've got issues. So I want to see how it goes. It'll be interesting to see tomorrow.
Yeah. I think a lot of people
now aboard the second stage.
You're going to get a lot of views with that one.
Yeah, well, it'll be on both our channels, so you can watch either place. But he wanted to do a simulcast, so we'll do that. But anything else you want to tell me about the moon?
No, that's it. Just again, I just want to respect and just keep doing what you're doing. And I figure as long as you stay open minded, that's 99% of it. Just being open minded.
Sorry, that's me pressing things when I shouldn't be. I'm definitely open minded now. Before I would have sworn anything that we didn't go to the moon. And now once you realize, okay, I have to look at things with an open mind. And you can't just go in there thinking it's fake, because if you do, then it's going to be the same thing as when I went searching for flat Earth stuff. I was able to find the things that confirmed what I was looking for. So it needs to be a little less of that.
Imagine my devastation if I found that it was fake.
I know that's a bigger, a big problem. I get that. And I do think that, at least in my opinion, that's the reason why they spread it out to so many people, is I think that they wanted buy-in from everybody, because then everybody knows somebody who like you probably know somebody who worked on Saturn V or who worked with NASA or in some way. So it's pretty good to get buy-in. But we'll find out tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling.
All right. Thanks, man. Take care.
All right, guys. We are going to call it quits unless there's one more on here. I think we're done. And good timing. 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That's what it's supposed to last. We are at 3 hours. We are all set. Let's find a song for the way out of here. I still have not fixed. I have my outro lyrics and I've got everything, all the singing done. It's all in there. I just haven't put it together yet. So I suck. All right. So what do we have? Any good calls tonight? Not really. Couple. That was great. Right now. Was that Dan? And then or Galaxy Soup. I like that name. Was there any good calls? Like, I'm trying to think of something that we needed to think about or go back and visit. Nope. I think Holden called in twice with 2 different voices. That was fun. And I did like yeah, there were some good calls actually. I did like that one. And Tony Coriolis, always a fun talk. I don't know where Upside Down Guy was today. He wasn't here. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Let's see if we've got any music here. I like Wait For It. I really liked it a lot. But maybe we'll do something else. Let's see. I'll do my new song just because I like that. I did a good video for it. If I can toot my own horn. Thank you. And I like the lyrics. And I like the song. I think the song is totally groovable, if you will. Should put some pep in your step. So guys, enjoy your evening. We will see you tomorrow at 1:30 for, we don't know what we're calling it, Apollo Review. 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, and you can watch that here on my channel or Dave McKeegan's. And Dave said he would prefer that you send all your super chats that you would have sent to him to me, and that you all watch it here, so he has like 8 people viewing over there. And that's the plan. And he won't have his dog on the screen either, because I think people do go there to watch that. So let's see if that works. I'm just kidding. He didn't say any of that stuff. All right, let's go with this one. I'm not thinking. It would be in video pros. There it is. And it would be unplugged master. Yes. All right, here it is. Enjoy this fantastic song. Oh, wait, you know what? I don't think it'll play. Sorry. I have to do it a different way. Nope. I wonder if this will play over here or not. Let's try it. I don't know if you'll hear the sound. Let's try it. Do you hear that? Yeah, you guys hear it. Alright, guys.
Get hype, get up.
Sorry. Enjoy the women. Do I have a favorite one in this whole thing? I got 2 favorites. The Asian in front of the white car is ridiculous. And the girl dancing on the boardwalk there in Ventura, I think is where it is. Anyway, just going to show you this. We're going to get the pop player where you're at. There you go. We're all set. Beautiful. I remind you, do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe all the bullshit you've been taught. That's wrong. That is old. Holy smokes. That's 4 months old. I remind you, do your own research, because when you do, you'll never again believe that you can't tell the shape of the ground by looking at the lights in the sky. You can. Tell Dave Weiss to get a life and to add some security to the app, please. Till next time, this has been Jeranism. Much love. Peace. Enjoy the song and the dancing and the lyrics on the screen.
Get hype, get up, time to learn something new. Always honest, sometimes right. Ooh, you feel that energy rising. The truth is calling, but we'll need some analyzing. Open your mind, let's take a ride. Jaren's almost here, time to toss the lights to the side. Lights down low, crowd tuned in. Truth unlocked, let the show begin. Red pill taker, no faker, no shill. Jaren's in the house, he always keeping it real. Always honest, sometimes right he claims. He's seen the lies, he broke the chains. Now he's here to level up the game. Crypto truth, let's talk growth. Mind unlocked, yo, he does both. He's been around, he's seen Take a step, take a breath, it's time to rise. No regrets, no regrets.